feels a little different, then that will be the reason for it. We do also run the risk, and this is very exciting news. We do run the risk of the stream shutting down at any moment because this PC I don't use because it's my old PC and it does have a tendency to just shut down out of nowhere. So that's exciting. So, yeah, we've got some PC drama as my PC sadly died on me. So, as a result, we are playing a little bit of catch-up, and I'm going to see if I can find the graphic for tonight and then go through what we can expect on the show. But, yeah, if that's why it just feels a little different, then that's the reason why. I'm just having a look, actually. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, maybe there isn't one, but they did send one out about 9 hours ago. So we've got that graphic that we like to show normally on screen. So, it's quite small. Let's have a look. Here we go. We have got a big, I'm guessing it's going to be the main event. We have got the Elites taking on House of Black, taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society. That's going to be in the Trios Championship. We've got Hangman Adam Page and Dark Order taking on Blackpool Combat Club. We've got Orange Cassidy taking on Jeff Jarrett. We're going to be doing a rebar mitzvah for MJF. We'll hear from the Outcasts. Now, apparently this is the name of Tony Storm, Soraya, and Ruby, the Outcasts. I can't say I've heard that name before. They might have been saying it on commentary, but honestly, that doesn't ring a bell with me, the Outcasts. Jade Cargill is, what's she doing? She is doing a Canadian Open Challenge. Oh, that's right. I remember that from last week. Canadian Open Challenge for Jade Cargill. And then also we've got the debut of QTV. You might remember last week we had Powerhouse Hobbs. He was victorious in that main event, helped by QT Marshall, and we have got the debut of QTV. QTV makes me think of QVC, so hopefully they're going to be selling things. That would be a lot of fun. I'd love to see Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall trying to sell me like an air fryer. That's the life that I want to live. So, yes, we've got all of that coming up tonight. Obviously, we've got news about someone else that's gone into the Hall of Fame as well, into the WWE Hall of Fame. We've obviously got news coming in about Forbidden Door 2. We can obviously go wherever you want to go in regards to conversation. Again, if you're just joining us, it might look and feel a little different. This is because this is the old PC, because my PC died. It's dead. I've got an engineer coming out on Friday. Apparently, I need a new motherboard. I learnt today how to remove a graphics card. Not that it did me any good, but yes, it's been absolute carnage. But we're live, we're here, and I hope everyone is well. People firing in, saying hello to everyone. I've got a lot of hellos in the chat. Your boy James Johnny said, "How are you doing?" I'm doing all right. I've had better days, but I considering the problems in the world, my little PC issue is obviously going to be very minor. But in my world, you can imagine, like, your PC not working is a pretty big deal. But yeah, doing all right. David said Forbidden Door 2 is confirmed. Yep, they've confirmed it for Toronto on June 25th. Apparently they're doing a lot in Canada. So I would imagine this is going to be of interest to WWE, because I think the reason WWE have started doing more in the UK is because of AEW. I think AEW are the only reason that we got Clash at the Castle, and it's the only reason that we've got Money in the Bank this year. And the reason why I say that is because AEW have got onto TV over here, and they were on a pretty good channel as well. And even though it's not a great time, I know that Tony still brags that AEW is viewed more in the UK than WWE, which could be true because WWE airs at like 1 in the morning on a sports channel that you've got to subscribe to, whereas AEW, as long as you don't mind watching it not live, that's on a pretty major channel at about 11 o'clock at night, and everyone's got that channel. And so I could believe that more people do actually watch. I bet the numbers are still really low. I bet they're nothing to shout about. If you actually found out how many people watched in the UK, it would probably explain why WWE don't do massive shows over here, because the viewing figures are atrocious, probably because it's on in the middle of the night. So yeah, I think that AEW coming in and starting to take a piece of the UK market has prompted WWE to give us Clash at the Castle, give us Money in the Bank. It's just interesting that now they've announced 6 dates for Canada, including Dynamite's, Rampages, but most importantly, Forbidden Door 2. I'd be very interested to see what Canada gets out of WWE now, because I bet they'll get some. I bet Canada's going to get a tasty show fairly soon. I think, haven't they already, thinking about it, haven't they announced, was it SummerSlam? I think SummerSlam might have gone to Canada. And again, Canada is a place that WWE do go from time to time to put on big shows. So that one I can't say as confidently is down to AEW, but I'm still going to say it is. I'm still going to say it's down to AEW, but Canada, we have to be honest in saying that WWE have gone there and put shows on a fairly consistent basis, so maybe that one isn't connected. But yeah, I'm pretty sure SummerSlam comes from Canada this year. Does Tony Khan tweet thank you a bunch of times tonight, said Jojo. I got to admit, I hope so. I mean, it's the only reason I'm awake. I could be asleep right now. Because of my PC dramas, I've actually managed to get 2 hours sleep since we last spoke. So I was working. As soon as we finished our NXT stream, I was working and doing bits and bobs. And then my computer went down, and then I spent hours and hours and hours trying to get it fixed. So I've managed to have about 2.5 hours sleep. So yeah, it's the only reason I'm awake right now. That and MJF's bar mitzvah. Because I don't know if you saw the pictures, but there are images of his bar mitzvah when he was a kid, and it looks wild. He genuinely is, I don't know, 13. I don't know how old you are when it's your bar mitzvah. But he has got women with scampy tops on, little tops on. He looks about 12 or 13. But then saying that he looks about that age right now. But yeah, he's got these women around with their skimpy tops on, and he's got money printed that's got his name on, and it's all WWE themed. And obviously there was no AEW then, so it's not really a revelation. But the one thing I do know about bar mitzvahs is that's a massive deal. That's a boy becoming a man, and they go big on those things. And wow, yeah, they went massive on his. All wrestling, WWE themed, and amazing. The images were amazing. So if tonight is going to be his rebar mitzvah, which I don't know. I don't know if I suppose in a way, if a bar mitzvah is a boy becoming a man, I wonder if this is a rebar mitzvah to celebrate him becoming the greatest wrestler. He's gone from being a wrestler to becoming the greatest wrestler. Maybe that's the reason for it. I missed the reasoning for it, to be honest. But maybe that's the reasoning for it. Tends to symbolize a change. So maybe we're celebrating him becoming the greatest wrestler in the world because he beat the greatest wrestler in the world. So I'm actually really looking forward to that segment, because one thing you get out of MJF is you definitely get noteworthy segments that people talk about. And I do appreciate that. Don't like so much the kids getting vodka, tequila thrown in their faces, but I do appreciate the fact that he gives us talking points, and I do think they'll go big with that segment as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Joseph said, just saying it's qualifying on Saturday at 5 for the F1. Yeah, F1, I must admit, isn't something that's massively grabbed me. I did enjoy seeing Lewis Hamilton get the success that he's had in recent years. And it's very frustrating that he got to 7 championships, which is the same as Michael Schumacher. And now his car is basically made of cardboard and just doesn't seem to be able to do anything. That's very frustrating. I'd love for him to get just even one more so that he can have the all-time records. But, yeah, very frustrating at the moment. My knowledge of F1 is very limited, though. James said, Days, I think Jade's opponent could be Taya Valkyrie or Jodie Threat. Both are from Canada, says James. James, shout out to you. John said, your computer isn't really the thing that you want going down on you in the evening, said John. I have to do all the sound effects vocally now because I don't have my Stream Deck set up on this computer. So, do you know what I mean? Wow! I'm going to have to do all the noises. You deserve it. How am I going to do the kids? The kids cheering is the one I use the most. Yay! Oh, God. Joseph said, what's your prediction for WrestleMania? Did we need to do predictions because we're on the road? Well, Joseph, if someone had watched this week's Wrestling Escape Pods, which aired around about an hour and 10 minutes ago, Joseph, you would have heard me asking for people to send in their predictions. So, yes, send them in. They will get played on the Wrestling Escape Pods. I will do a prediction video on this channel, but I'll keep it very short and snappy. One thing I've learned about prediction videos, having done them over many, many years, is the vast majority of people just want to get in and get out, right? People's time is precious. And as much as people enjoy, like, sitting down and just in the background having, like, you know, a half an hour thing, the vast majority of people will not even click on a predictions video that goes that long. So for this channel, my goal will be to get, 5-7 minutes in and out. Now, whether I achieve that, that's a different thing, because everyone knows I love to talk. And also, it is WrestleMania that's 2 days, and it's going to be tricky. So that's going to take some work. That's going to take some discipline on my part. But in regards to you guys sending stuff in, yes, do it. Send your thoughts to wrestlingdays@gmail.com, and I will make it about a minute, right? I know that's short. You're going to have to just go, all right, next match, Amos Brock. I think it's going to be Brock. Then blah, blah, blah. Do that for the majority of stuff. Hopefully you should still have some time to flesh out some of the matches that you want to flesh out. But I'm hoping that we're going to get a load of responses, and we'll drop them all into the Wrestling Escape Pod next week. Wrestling Escape Pod has got its own channel. And yeah, next week will be the WrestleMania predictions episode. So not only will I give my predictions there first, that's where you'll first hear my thoughts on it, but it's where Tommy Toy Travels, who's big YouTuber, I think it's nearly 90,000 subscribers. He's a channel that massively influenced my channel. He will give his thoughts as well, and the community will give their thoughts also. So if you go over the minute, it's not the end of the world. I don't mind like a minute 10, minute 20, minute 30. I mean, honestly, if it went 2 minutes, it doesn't matter. But the point is, aim for the minute, yeah? Aim for the minute. If you go 2, it's not like I won't play it. I'll play it. But, like, if it's going 5, 6, 7, do you know what I mean? Like, we need a guideline, don't we? Otherwise, I'll get people sending me 12-minute videos that, I get a few of them, I just can't play them. So, if we aim for the minute and it goes 2, that's fine. If it goes 1:10, 1:30, it's fine. If you get it to hit the minute, bonus point, right? But yeah, send that over, wrestlingdays@gmail.com. That should be a lot of fun, actually. That should be a lot of fun. I would love for us to get a load of clips to play. That's what I would hope for. I mean, we do the community submissions on a regular basis, and we just tend to get stuff from the same people, to be honest. Like, to be completely honest, it's the same people that tend to send stuff in. So let's see what WrestleMania predictions can do, and if we can get a few new faces jumping in, which would be great. So yeah, as I said, that's got its own channel. LA Dort Knight said, Senna wasn't killed by karma. It's a tragedy that can happen in sports. Wrestle with Andy, hello, said, have you seen MJF's real bar mitzvah? I have, yeah, I saw the pictures. We were talking about that, just amazing. It's like women that are wearing next to nothing and money. I think it was money. Like, I think it was money or a match card. It looked like dollar bills, but it had like him versus Edge, him versus like loads of different people on these. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was money or what it was, but I saw they'd made something. But the whole thing was like WWE. I think it was WWE, but it was the scratch logo. It was all, yeah, ruthless aggression. And it looked great. It's why I'm excited about tonight, because if it feels like they need to go that big again, you know, those pictures are out there and it's set a bit of a benchmark now, you know, like if him and his parents can do that, then I'm pretty sure that AEW can deliver something as big and as cool. So it could be a really fun segment, even though it sounds weird. Do you know what I mean? A rebar mitzvah. I do like rebar, though. As I was typing it into the description, I had a moment where I was like, oh, rebar? Because, like, isn't rebar, like, some sort of reinforcement for concrete or something? And I was like, that could be like a weapon or something, like rebar. Rebar mitzvah. And I was like, I wonder if they've done that on purpose or if it's just a quirky little coincidence. Probably just a coincidence. But I was like, rebar? Yeah. You could use that as a weapon or something. Like, is there kind of interesting how you can have a double word play there? So, yeah, I did, and it was cool. Whereabouts is Wrestling Escape Pods, said Joseph. It's got its own channel, buds. So if you go onto YouTube, just put in Wrestling Escape Pods. I mean, in all fairness, I've just told you everything you need to know, so you don't need to go there now. But it airs. It's funny you should mention it because, well, it's funny you should get mentioned because it actually airs the hour before this stream. So it airs on a Wednesday. We record on a Tuesday, and it airs on a Wednesday. Episodes tend to be about half an hour now. They used to be an hour, but they tend to be half an hour because what I do now is something I probably should have done from the start, and that is edit some of the waffle out, some of the conversations that don't actually lead anywhere. I take them out now, so it means that the episode kind of flows a bit better. And I actually thought this week's was quite good because this week we talk about Rio leaving Twitter, and we talk about the Cult of Cornets. And we talk about, what else do we talk about? We talk about Bray Wyatt and what's happening with Bray Wyatt, what the latest is. We talk quite a bit, actually, about, like, the online wrestling community and all this kind of stuff. It's interesting because it's a topic which, I mean, we don't really talk about here because here it's like, what do you think about this theory? What about that? What have you heard about this? You heard about that? It kind of moves a bit quicker. Whereas on the Wrestling Escape Pod, it's not like that. We can just get our teeth into like a topic, and it's kind of interesting. So, yeah, we talk about that. We talk about AI art as well. I'll show you a picture actually from the Wrestling Escape Pod. I can't. It's not on this computer, is it? That's annoying. I was gonna show you an image. I wonder if I could still get it though. I might be able to get one. Yeah, my co-host, Tommy Toy Travels, he was messing around with some AI generator, the art generator. And I know that loads of you, all of you, if maybe will have seen some of these images I haven't had any interaction with these, so this was new to me. And I was stunned. I was legit stunned at how amazing this art that it generates is. Like some of the stuff he sent me, so we were talking away, and he would all of a sudden he would just be like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, what is it? What's up?" And he's like, "My AI art generator has just generated a picture of a female Barack Obama." And I was like, "Okay, what?" I mean, we were in the middle, I think, of a wrestling conversation, and all of a sudden he turns around and, I mean, that's a hell of a sentence. You've got to admit, if you're having a conversation and the person you're talking to turns around and says, "Oh my God, my AI art generator has just created a picture of a female Barack Obama," like, that's, something's going down in your life at that point. And so he kept banging on about this thing, and he wouldn't shut up about it. Whenever he gets, like, a bone, whenever he gets, like, something going on, he'll really go on about it. Now, I couldn't see the picture at the time, but he sent it over. I'll show it you. This was in this week's Wrestling Escape Pods, and I'll show it you here. This is the art that was generated from his AI generator, and I'll show you it. It's the female Barack Obama that his AI art generator generated. And all I can think of as I'm looking at it is, how can you use this for wrestling? There must be a way that you can use this for wrestling, because you can just put in a load of words and terms, and then it will spit out some art. And there's got to be at least a video in that. I mean, there has to be at least a video, because it's amazing. I'll show you the image now. This is the female Barack Obama that this AI art generator created. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it is amazing. Like, it's amazing. And she's cute as well. She is cute, I believe. Hope, I believe. But, I mean, it just looks like a picture. And, like, it's got, like, a cool blurry background. I mean, I don't really know what's going on with her boobs, to be honest. But that is, like, super, super high definition. This is like female Barack Obama 4K. It's very strange. And that Hilislilin, I don't even know what's written on her boobs. And I don't even know if that technology exists. I'm guessing it does. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. She's like the greatest personal trainer I've ever seen. So, yeah, female Barack Obama. And that just came out of nowhere. I'm just in the middle of a conversation with him. And boom, he's like, drops that on me. So, yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's got its own channel. Episodes every week. Take about half an hour. And, yeah, there's some other stuff on the way. That'd be a great way to do a random created wrestler, said Travis. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest. And if you could put yourself in it as well, I mean, if you could put yourself in, like, if you could put out, like, your name and then WWE or AEW, I mean, apparently you have to put in loads of details. So he was telling me he has, like, hot chicks in the background, neon lights. You have to be really, you can feed in, like, loads of terms. And then it spits a picture out. Like, he hasn't touched that up or anything. That has just been generated. I think the way it works is it goes on the internet and looks at every picture on the internet. Somehow sorts it all. So, it I suppose through Google, it can use Google, like, neon, and here's all the neon pictures. Hot girls. Here's all the hot girl pictures. So it can just take elements from all the things you've said, chuck it into a picture, and that's how you end up with hot female Obama, which I just think is amazing, genuinely. And I was looking at this, and I was like, man, how do you use that for a wrestling point of view? But you could put yourself in a wrestling situation. I'm going to have to ask him what this is, because I really feel like we could play around with that. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if we got community members to send in their pictures and we put it into this AI thing, spat out what their wrestler would look like. We could show them on stream and all this kind of stuff. Be amazing. Or you could just like put some random stuff like Vince McMahon as a farmer and just like, put that in and spits a picture out. Amazing. Honestly, I mean, I've heard about AI generators, and to many of you, you might look at that and go, yeah, I've seen loads. It's a thing. But this is like one of my first times of actually seeing like how good the technology actually is. And I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. I can only imagine some of the stuff other creators are doing. If you've got the ability to create an image like that now, where you just type in some words and it'll spit some out, amazing. Amazing. Toronto gets Forbidden Door 2. It does. June 25th for Forbidden Door. Thomas said, is AEW Dynamite on earlier tonight? It's on earlier in the UK because of the clocks changing in America. So, yes, it is on earlier for us, but not earlier in America. I've commented on the Wrestling Escape Pod about WrestleMania, and I've done my predictions on that one. What do you mean? You've written them down? It's better as a clip. I mean, if you write them down, I can read them out, but that's not going to be as engaging, is it? So it'd be better if you put them into like a little video clip. If you don't want to like record yourself, which I can totally understand, then just send in like the audio, and then I can play the audio over like a picture. I can put a picture up. I'm sure I can find a pretty generic WrestleMania 39 picture. But that's why I was saying, like, make it like a minute or so, because I think it's just a lot more engaging. It's a lot more, and plus it's a nice way as well. And I said this before. It's a nice way of putting a face or putting a voice or putting something to the names that we see in the chat on a regular basis. So I know many of you, if not nearly all of you, this won't be your first stream with us. If it is, welcome. Everyone's welcome at any point, of course. But for many of you, you've been here, a couple of times before. And, people will have seen you in the chat. And so it's just a nice way of putting a face to a name or putting a voice to a name. I understand for many of you, you won't want to do that because you just won't want to do that. And that's absolutely understandable. But I think it's just worth knowing that the option is there. It's just worth knowing that this is an opportunity that exists. And I think we could make next week's episode like really interesting in regards to not only getting lots of different thoughts about WrestleMania, but also, as I said, going, that's such and such, that's cool. And again, putting a face to a name. But if you don't want to do that, I mean, I will quite happily read people's thoughts from the comments. So if you want to just leave it as a comment, I can read them. I just don't think it's going to be as engaging, me sitting there reading out like people's predictions. I don't know, like that's going to be something that people are going to be desperate to hear. Whereas I think the value is going to be in more, there's such and such. Do you know what I mean? Like that, I think will, I think engaging is the right word, isn't it? Use your intelligence, give the video a like. Sean, shout out to you. Adam, shout out to you. You'll see me days. Love the work you do, said Aaron. Aaron, shout out to you, buds. Normally see you around, bud. You're normally one of those people that send bits in. Thomas said, I've been here about 35 times. Thomas, keeping track. He's got a little wall chart, Thomas. Every time he jumps on a stream, he puts a little cross on a piece of paper. It's the right way to do it, in all fairness. I've got to do it. I will remember to do it next time. Alfie said, how do you think Cassidy versus Jarrett will go? I think OC, I mean, I'm wondering if it'll start. They've been having Orange Cassidy start, haven't they? He's been kind of opening the show. And it's a really good way of presenting him, actually. Because I would say that I'm probably as engaged with Orange Cassidy right now as I ever have been. Maybe from like when I first saw him. Maybe the very beginning, but Really, I've been waiting for us to do something good with him for a long time. He's just really been on the fringes. I think him winning the All Atlantic title, it's not called that now, isn't it? It's the International Championship, isn't it, instead? So him being the holder of that, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, to be honest. But he's taken on all comers. He's having decent matches. They tend to put him in the same spot, front and center. They're really trying to get him over now as a credible in-ring competitor, which I must admit they have done from time to time in the past anyway. But I just think maybe not with this level of consistency. So, we will have seen him compete, and then we could have gone a good period of time without seeing him, unless you watch Rampage or Dark or Elevation or whatever. He tends to open the show. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first match again this week, him against Jeff Jarrett. So, yeah, I think he'll get the win. I think that Jeff Jarrett is... Who did he attack last week? He attacked someone, didn't he? Was it Ricky Starks? No, was it Ricky Starks? He attacked someone. So I feel like Orange Cassidy's going to retain, and whoever Jeff Jarrett attacked, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, I feel like that'll likely play a part, that'll likely play a role in the outcome of this. Mitchell said, it's my first time here, and honestly, it's boring. Mitchell, shout out to you. I appreciate honest feedback, so yeah. Thank you, Mitchell. Shout out to you, my friend. Any updates on Sonny, said FaZe. Yeah, for those that haven't heard Sonny talking about the community, much loved member of the community, someone that does send in clips on a regular basis, and I love her for it. I love her anyway, but love her for it. And she is obviously one of our mods and everything. She is just recovering at the moment. She is in hospital, and she's just recovering. She'll be... I don't know when she'll be back. She is safe and well. Someone managed to get a hold of her family. I'm trying to remember all the facts, because I don't want to obviously speak out of term. And I want to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. So I believe it was that someone managed to get a hold of her family that managed to say, look, everything's fine. She is in hospital, but she's recovering. And she's expected to be, back and out, relatively soon. So, it's going to sound strange, but, great news, to be honest. Great news, because didn't know where she was. People were trying to get a hold of her. She hadn't been seen for a little while. Didn't know where she was and all this kind of stuff. But, yeah, apparently her family did. So that's obviously all that matters. So brilliant news, great news. So, yeah, I was really relieved to hear that, there we go, we know where she is, basically. She's not like her. She's been in our community for, years and years and years. And for her to just go missing and... literally no one online know where she was. That was obviously a hell of a concern. So, good news. Good news. Godfather's Ho said, Days got pretty bleeped last night. Ate some tree hugger gummies and drank dirt cheap beer. Puked in a garbage can, and I missed NXT. I hope AEW is good tonight. It's become rotten. Needs more cheeks. Interesting. Godfather's Ho, shout out to you. Joseph said, Days, what I can do a video on my channel and send it over to you. Yeah, that's fine. As I said, I don't mind reading from the comments. I just think that people will find it more interesting if there is... a little video clip or an audio clip. But really, look, it's up to you. It's up to you guys how you want to do, if you want to do anything. But as I said, we record next Tuesday. So definitely need it in by Tuesday lunchtime next week. We record Tuesday evening. So as long as it's in by next Tuesday lunchtime, lunchtime being Eastern time, 12, 1, midday. I mean, ideally, a lot of you will be at work or school then, so probably best to get it in on the Monday night or get it in on the weekend. Hopefully, I mean, I know the whole card won't be known by then, but I think we pretty much know all the big matches by now. And we should know Gunther's challenger by Friday as well, so... And that's probably going to be a triple threat anyway. So, yeah, I mean, even if you don't want to do it now and you just want to wait, that's absolutely fine. Sunny is the nicest person in this community, said FaZe. Yeah, thoughts absolutely with her at the moment, of course. And as we said, just great news. Great news that's, that's a positive outcome. And we know where she is. People saying hello. Maybe AEW could start a reality show similar to Tough Enough, where they also invite celebrities, says Inside Out and Again. Well, they're starting a reality show, aren't they? In that AEW All Access. So I don't think they'll start any... I don't know that they'll do anything else at the moment. But, because I would imagine their energy is going into that. And then, who knows, further down the road, could end up doing something later. The other thing we need to talk about as well, whilst it's just in my mind, is the Great Muta. So the Great Muta has been announced as going into the Hall of Fame. This is not the biggest surprise because this is, I would say, there's a couple of names that have been rumoured for this year. Batista being one of the others, although I don't know that he's going to go in this year because I think Batista could be the main event for a class. So he might not go in this year. He might go in like further down the road. But either way, the Great Muta was heavily rumoured and it has been confirmed by Ric Flair, of all people, which is amazing. I mean, Ric Flair, absolute legend. I think, I didn't catch the announcement, but I think he said that he would be the one to induct him as well. So, yeah, amazing. And apparently the class is going to be smaller, so it's not going to be loads of people. We might only get another couple of announcements. So we could be looking at Muta, Rey Mysterio. There are rumours of a female, which I can say, but so if you don't want to, I tell you what, I'll say it. If you don't want to know, step away for a minute, and then lovely, right? So you've had your warning. Step away now, because the female that's being rumoured is step away, Stacy Keibler. So she's been rumoured as being a person that is expected to go in, and that came from Fightful as well. So Fightful are reporting that's one that's on the way, apparently. And have I heard any others? I don't think I have, to be honest. I think the Batista and that female, the Great Muta, and obviously Rey Mysterio. I would expect another couple, to be honest. I'd expect another couple, because apparently the class is going to be smaller than usual, which honestly might be down to the fact that Triple H, if he is the one doing it now, is looking at it going, people need time to talk. Everyone needs a chance to go up and say what they want to say. Because these things either overrun, go on way too late, or people don't really get enough time to actually say anything. And so, yeah, a smaller class is definitely the right way forwards. We don't need to be putting in as many people as what we do. So, yeah, I'm all for it, to be honest. Smaller classes that really focus more on the individual, I think is perfect, definitely. So I'm all for it, yeah. So Great Muta absolutely deserves it. Spent time in WCW, although I don't think it was tons of time. It's not like he was there for like 10, 15 years, but he definitely had a good run with them, and sporadically would return. Did some stuff with WWE. I remember seeing matches, him against Hulk Hogan when Hogan would go over to Japan. Which Hogan was WWF champion at that point, so I think it was all part of, like, whether it was done under the WWF banner or not, I'm not certain about, to be honest. But I know it was when Hogan was with WWF, so they had involvement, and there was some sort of relationship there. So Muta definitely did stuff with WWE, even though we wasn't seeing him come over and actually work in America and be on pay-per-views. We was seeing him doing stuff whenever they would go to Japan. So honestly, he's one of those names where even if he had done nothing with WWE and nothing with WCW, he absolutely still needs to go into the WWE, because the WWE Hall of Fame is to many people the Wrestling Hall of Fame to many people, and to not have the Great Muta in there would be just an absolute travesty. You are talking about one of the most influential wrestlers of all time. Like, he is that important. So I think it's Asuka's favorite wrestler ever as well. She says Triple H, but I don't believe her, because I've seen interviews before in the past where she said the Great Muta. So I think it probably is the Great Muta. And then as soon as she came to NXT, it magically became Triple H. Hey, listen, she knows how to play the game, literally. So fair play. Life of Daz said, Buddy, how are we doing? Did you hear DAZN? It's going to be a TV channel with a pay-per-view channel, and they could get AEW from ITV4. No. DAZN is going to be a TV channel now with a pay-per-view channel. No, I haven't heard any of this. DAZN exists anyway. We watch a few... What do we watch? Is it the Misfits stuff that's on there? I think we watched the KSI boxing on DAZN, and we've had some boxing events on there as well, and we will do some big boxing stuff coming up. There is going to be some boxing stuff coming up soon. I think this weekend is UFC, though, and we will be doing streams. I mean, obviously, we can do it on this computer. It's not that bad. I am just always a little concerned it's going to go down at some point, and I suppose I should just mention, if it does go down, if it does crash at any point, we can very quickly bring it back. So if I do just disappear, I haven't gone forever. Normally it's just a case of like powering the computer back on again. But that's the reason why I don't use this PC anymore, because it started to do that. Not every stream, but just like once every couple of days, like, you know, the power would go. And it's one of them jobs that's been on my to-do list. Get the PC to a PC specialist. Get it looked at, get it fixed. I've been meaning to do that for months, and I haven't done it. And so now I find myself in a situation where I need it. And, well, I mean, it's doing all right at the moment. Let's just put it that way. So it is what it is. But yeah, we are definitely doing UFC still. And obviously SmackDown and all of that as well. Hopefully the other PC gets fixed by that point. But DAZN, we watch the boxing and we watch things on there. I haven't heard about it being a TV channel, but that's interesting. Life of Daz. Shout out to you, bud. Shout out to you. Tyler said, Days, did you catch the Demon comment from Finn Balor during Raw? We did. Will it be Demon Finn at Mania? I don't think so. I mean, there could be. It could be. But I don't think so. I sort of feel like it was just a nice little line from Balor saying that he's been to hell and hell couldn't cope with his demons. And I think it's just a nice little line. It's definitely a tease, though. It's definitely, something that he could turn to. But I don't know. I mean, I'm confused as to what we're doing with the demon, to be honest. I mean, I know this is Triple H booking now, and Triple H may want the demon to return. But we haven't seen the demon in, so long. And even under Triple H, I mean, Triple H took over last summer, and, we've not seen the demon or heard of the demon. Granted, it's WrestleMania, so we could definitely do it for WrestleMania. So I think him just saying that I've been to hell before and it couldn't cope with my demons, I don't know that that's enough to make me go, yeah, it's happening. It's happening. It's definitely interesting. Definitely caught our attention at the time. And definitely could lead to it. But I, right now, can't say that's enough for me to go, yeah, It's happening. It's happening. I don't know. I'm like, we're keeping an eye on the situation. That's what we're doing. We're keeping an eye on the situation. But good spot, yes. It was a nice little reference. And honestly, I'm totally down for seeing the Demon at WrestleMania. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, I love the Demon. I must admit, I thought what they did last time we saw him sucked, to be honest. I really didn't like it. The Demon has never been like a supernatural character in WWE. To my knowledge, unless someone can tell me differently, I can't think of anything supernatural the Demon did. The Demon was literally Finn putting body paint on and channeling his inner demon and bringing out a side of himself, which maybe he has to put that body paint on to kind of tap into. But, we haven't been seeing him throw lightning or, changing attire mid-match or teleporting around the arena or anything along those lines. It's always been Finn just coming to the ring with the body paint on, having a match. That's it. That's what he does. That's it. And so last time we saw him, it very much felt like we were leaning more into a Demon thing. I mean, we had him convulsing on the floor, and we were doing something with the lights, and do you remember the rope broke? That's the last time we saw the Demon, was when he was in that match against Roman, and the rope broke, and then he ended up losing, and it was like, I understand the light. I understand the rope breaking was probably designed to protect the Demon, but it doesn't do a great job of protecting the Demon. If this Demon is meant to be, do you know what I mean? If you're having the lights all change and you're having him convulsing on the floor, and I'm meant to believe that this is like an otherworldly character, the fact that the ropes would break and that would be a problem for him, it is just a bit embarrassing, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I think about some of the great monsters from horror films, and for them to just get tripped up by something so basic, do you know what I mean? It'd be a little bit like Jason, walking around a backyard and stepping on a rake, smacking him in the face, and he goes down oh, God. I just can't imagine that in a film. I can't imagine him stepping on a rake. I mean, it'd be amazing. It'd be comedy gold. But I really didn't like how they used the Demon last time. But that was under Vince's regime, not Triple H's. And Triple H, we saw, could use the Demon very well in NXT. So I'm all for bringing him back. I'm all for having a look and seeing what we can do with him under Triple H. If he uses him like he did in NXT, brilliant. Yeah, could be great fun. It's funny actually, because I mean there was talk of Judgment Day becoming supernatural, and that's why Edge left apparently, because he didn't want to be a part of that. And then they put Balor in, and I think it's probably because it's around that time that Vince ends up going. But who knows where Judgment Day would have gone if Vince had stuck around. I think almost certainly they would have been a supernatural group. And, who knows how that would have played out, if it would have been good, if it would have been bad. I don't know, each to their own. But obviously we didn't go that way under Triple H. So, I don't know what that would mean for the Demon. I'm guessing, if I was just looking at how he was booked in NXT, I'm guessing it would just be similar to that, which, as I said, I thought was done very, very well. Alfie, gifting a membership. Shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the gesture to the community. Very nice. And also a smiley face from Alfie's happy tonight. Alfie's on the old Alco Pops, by the looks of it, having a good night. Getting ready for AEW, which is just 11 minutes away now. Just 11 minutes away. And we will be going over to Dynamite. If you are just joining us, this week's Dynamite has got a few interesting things. Big match is a triple threat trios match between the Elite and House of Black and Jericho Appreciation Society. You might remember that moment last week where we had Jericho Appreciation Society in the ring. We had the Elite on the ramp. At the top of the ramp, we had House of Black lights. They've got to sort the lights out. Talking about, like, spooky things that didn't quite work. The House of Black presentation is great. Their entrance is great. Their look is great. Love all of that. Love their promos where they step out of the darkness. I think Julia Hart's fine. Like, she doesn't really do much. She still strikes me as being, like, a young-looking girl. But she's fine in that role. And, yeah, fine. Tick, 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 tick. The only problem for me is, as I said, the lights go out. And they're out for so long that it's like when they come back on and they've gone, it doesn't make you go, ooh. Ooh, where did they go? Of course they're gone. The lights have been out for about 2 days. Of course they've gone. They've got to find a way of making that quicker. If they want to get any sort of reaction where we go, ooh, it needs to be lights out, lights back on, and they've gone. That's how you need to do that effect. Not lights out, wait half an hour, turn them back on, and then we're meant to be amazed they're not standing there anymore. So, yeah, they've got to find a way of tightening that up. But I'm very excited that House of Black have got the Trios Championships. I'm really pleased we're doing something with them. I really like those guys. I mean, I've always been a fan of Malachi. I remember when I think I was there when he made his debut. He came in as Tommy End, and that was, I want to say, at the UK tournament. And his first match was against, believe it or not, Pac. Who was Neville at the time. Neville was in the ring, and we brought out Tommy End, and I'm sure that was at the UK tournament. And then, obviously, he went to NXT, became Aleister Black, went to the main roster, ended up going to AEW, becoming Malachi Black, blah, 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 blah. Didn't know much about Brody King until he came into AEW, and I think he's been very good. I've enjoyed his work. Obviously, we know all about Buddy Matthews. And, yeah, he's been great in that group. They all look great. They're all, like, either jacked or, like, really big, covered in tattoos. It's a good presentation. It's a good group. I think people have just been waiting, just been desperate for us to do something with these guys. So I expect them to retain tonight. I mean, and in fact, actually, we can put that up. I mean, hopefully I'm not going to be asking too much of the PC here. So we can put it up as a question. Who leaves as the Trios champions? So, who leaves as Trios champions? I mean, it's got to be House of Black, surely. We've only just put the belts on them. So, I can't think that we're going to be taking the belts off them now. House of Black and Jericho Appreciation Society. So, we'll put that up as a question to you guys. Who leaves Trios Championship? That's going to be our big match tonight that we've got to look forward to. James said it's about time Tony pulled the trigger on House of Black. Planet Dan said The Rock should be going into the Hall of Fame this year, otherwise he'll have to wait until the next time they have Mania in Hollywood, which could be a while away, said Planet Dan. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, you can put The Rock in anytime. I don't think necessarily you have to connect them. And where's he from anyway? Isn't he from Florida or something? Like, you can easily do it from where he's born. And he could go in there. Or, again, you could probably put him in somewhere that he's heavily connected with. Like, if he went in and headlined the Class, say, for New York. I mean, New York is the spiritual home of WWE. You could make an argument these days that it's Florida, but really it's Madison Square Garden. Barclays Center now, I suppose. But New York was the home of WWE. Like that, there's something special about Madison Square Garden. So you would always need something big for the Garden. If ever they went back to New York, if ever we had a New York WrestleMania, the Rock headline in there is no problem whatsoever. You could even make the argument if we go down to Florida. Florida sort of feels like home away from home. I kind of feel like New York's their home and Florida's their holiday home. So either of them as well. Like, I feel he could go in also. I do agree that it presents a great opportunity for The Rock to go in, what with it being in Hollywood. I think almost certainly we see The Rock. I fully expect The Rock to be there. Fully expect him to be there. What he's going to do there, I'm not sure. Not a match, but, one of those nice WrestleMania moments where they bring him out and it's a surprise moment. I could see him doing something maybe with The Miz or something like that. Miz is going to get involved in something as the host. They'll have something for The Miz. Don't know. I don't know what we do with him. I really don't know what we do with him. Hopefully they've got some ideas, but with it being in Hollywood, I completely agree. I think if we do WrestleMania Hollywood and we don't have The Rock at all, that is a big oversight. That's a big drop ball. Like it would, but that wouldn't be WWE's fault because we know they want him, but it's just he's not going to be able to get ready in time. So that's why the match isn't happening, which I'm gutted about because I was adamant that we were going to get it this year. I was very much in agreement. Like, if you're not going to have him do a match at WrestleMania in Hollywood, like, what are we even doing here? But his schedule is his schedule, isn't it? His schedule is his schedule, and it looks like the stars didn't align, unfortunately. But all it does is just present a massive opportunity for next year. So we can do Rock Roman next year. And I think we're in Philadelphia. I mean, not that it matters. WrestleMania is WrestleMania. But I do agree. It is a shame. If we don't get anything to do with The Rock, yeah, I agree. That would be a shame. But it is what it is, isn't it? A schedule is a schedule. Maybe he could do something with LA Knight, said Planet Down. Yeah, that's a good shout. LA Knight is asking for an opponent. I could see him coming to the ring demanding that he have his moment, and then The Rock comes out. I think that's a really good shout. Yeah, really good shout. Rock was born in Hawaii, got evicted and moved to Florida, said Moldy Spoon. That's interesting. So, like, Florida would make sense then, wouldn't it? If we did it in Florida, then he could have connections there. But as I said, The Rock's just one of those where he can main event a class any year. Doesn't sort of feel like it's a nice little extra thing, but like if we're in Philadelphia, I really wouldn't use that as a barrier. Like, oh, we can't have The Rock because we're in Philadelphia. Like, I wouldn't really think about it that way. But I do agree. If we don't have him, if we don't see him at all this year in Hollywood, then we really have dropped the ball. But I've had the worst 20 minutes. William, shout out to you. I'm sorry to hear you've had a bad 20 minutes. Hopefully you've come through that now. Smurfy Toon said, does The Miz bring someone in like when the New Day introduced the Hardy Boys? He could do. I don't know that that's something that is in the works. I'm going to lean more towards no. I think that's a nice thing for face hosts to do, but I don't think The Miz as a heel would necessarily look to do that. So, I mean, we've had hosts before. We had, wasn't it Rob Gronkowski was a host of like WrestleMania 36, and I think Hulk Hogan, Titus O'Neil were hosts of like WrestleMania 37. I think, we've had a few hosts before, so I would say because we've got a host, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to introduce someone. It's just, could they? And we have seen it done before, as you said, with the New Day. But I don't think The Miz would do that. I think what you would probably do is like have The Miz say like that he was going to do it, and then have someone come down, interrupt, and say The Miz isn't big enough for this announcement. Like you'd have The Rock come down or someone. Have The Rock come down and say an announcement this big needs an announcement this electrifying demands the people's champion, and have him like lay the smacketh down on Miz, and then like he could do the announcement. So, but who that person would be, I don't know. But Right now, I would say I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. But I would say it's a good thing we were rubbish after the World Cup. Right, I think we're up to speed. Can I say AEW intro is great, but it's short, said Big Time Baxter. The Great Muta in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Great Muta in the Hall of Fame, which is great news. Great Muta is in the Hall of Fame and deserves to be. We touched on it earlier. Right, we are 10 seconds away. 10 seconds away from going over to AEW Dynamite. And as we said, the headline of this week's show, I think it's the main event, is going to be that trios match. We do have Orange Cassidy in action as well. Let's turn this down a little bit. And we've also got an open challenge for Jade Cargill. Shazam something is in theaters March 17th. So there we go. Shout out to Shazam. We're in Winnipeg. We've got balloons. So are we starting with MJF? We might be starting with MJF because we've got balloons in the ring. I thought we would start with Orange Cassidy. Okay. MJF then. So we're starting with MJF. This is a hot way to start the show. Nice. 4 ladies have come out. 4 lovely ladies. And here is MJF. Taz said he is really pumped up for this. So MJF making his way down to the ring. Gets a kiss from girl 2, girl 3. There's girl... Oh, and he smooches girl 4. MJF living his best life. MJF. Days reports Pete Dunne is back. What, like as Pete Dunne? That's awesome if so. We need Pete Dunne back. Stupid butch. Wow, look at all these streamers. White and blue streamers. MJF chants. You folks used to think Bret Hart was entertaining. I think we all know that Shawn was much better. He says, we're here to celebrate the most important day in human history, my birthday. So he talks about Judaism and how they're the chosen people. So, yeah, he is talking about how he tapped out Bryan Danielson, and he is now the best professional wrestler. He says, I'm no longer a man. I am now Iron Man. Okay, so what have we got now? Now we've got, like, loads of people coming down. We got a chair coming down. Okay. Tony Schiavone said you can only have a rebar mitzvah when you're 83. They hold hands. They're circling around a chair. They pick up MJF. It's quite the scene. Someone's got, like, some massive red scissors in the crowd. I mean, that must be some that they made themselves. Here's Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy making his way out. Okay, interesting. Did they do this at bar mitzvahs? Sure. Sure. I mean, I was hoping for more. I must admit, like, we've seen MJF come down, and I don't know. I thought that there might be some people from his past that he might lay into, or do you know what I mean? There might be some sort of a segment. Whereas he literally came down, cut a promo, sat in a chair, got, like, bounced around, and now we've got Jungle Boy coming out. So Jungle Boy chance. Obviously, Jungle Boy done with Christian. So Jungle Boy went to talk, and we've got Jericho Appreciation Society now. Is this going to be Sammy? Sammy Guevara making his way out. Is Darby going to come out? Are we going to put all 4 pillars in there? Well, Brit, but you get the point. I'm guessing Darby will make his way out. Fatal 4-way? Okay, so Sammy came down, went to touch the cake, and MJF's like, don't you dare. It'll be a 3-way. Winner will face MJF, most likely, said Corvids. That's a great bucket hat that MJF has got, says Rare Breeds. Okay, so Winnipeg is Jericho sign. Okay, and now Darby. Yeah, here's Darby. Big pop for Darby, you know. Big pop for Darby. Good segment. Good segment. I mean, what I would say is I did want more from the Bar Mitzvah, as I just said. But we have now gone into a very interesting place where we've got the pillars in the ring. Darby chants. Yeah, they're loving Darby. You're ruining my rebar mitzvah. What do you want? Okay, so they all want a title match. Okay, so all 3 want a title match. Jungle Boy tells MJF to shut up. Jungle Boy said, we wrestled back in 2020. We wrestled for 20 minutes. You cheated and, of course, won as a result, as you always do. So he says, you know, as a result of that, you was on Dynamite, but I wrestled the rest of that time on Dark. I don't like that from Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy said you've never been on Elevation, you've never been on Dark, you've never even been on Rampage. It makes it sound like those shows are like a demotion. It makes it sound like you've never even been on Rampage. You get to walk around and do whatever you want. Like going to Rampage is like a bad thing or something. This entire place revolves around you, said Jungle Boy. This company does revolve around me because unlike all of you, I'm a star, said MJF. The belt is bigger than everyone in that ring, said Mr. Robot. Okay, so we've heard from Jungle Boy. Now we're hearing from Sammy Guevara. Okay, so Sammy's talking about what he had to do to get here. So we've heard about Jungle Boy and how he's been on Dark. Now we're hearing from Sammy and what he had to do to get here, and he's making out that MJF has had it easy in comparison. I was only meant to be the bump guy for Jericho, said Sammy. I'm not like you, Max. I never had the machine pushing me. I got me here and I will get me there. I like that. That's a good line. I got me here and I will get me there. I like that line. Sammy's doing a good job. Sammy's doing a good job. Sammy Guevara is going to be a world champion because I'm the best ever and you know it. That was good from Sammy. Darby jumps in, says enough. So MJF says, look, we're all really appreciative that you're able to come out here, taking time away from getting into brawls in the locker room in the back. So Darby talking about dropping out of school. It's a very unusual for AEW to start with promos like this, but this at least feels important and it feels significant and it's a big segment. You're either going to make it as Darby Allin or you're going to fail as Darby Allin. So Darby Allin said, that's a nice line from Darby. He said that I might be the worst businessman in this whole place because there'll never be a bidding war for Darby Allin. AEW allows me the opportunity for me to be me. AEW means more to me than it does to you, Max. So Darby said that if you don't give me a match, I'll go and complain about it on Twitter. Got a bit of a laugh. So MJF was hiding a black eye. Sammy, who in 7 months is going to propose to a new girl, Guevara. That's funny coming from you. Didn't your fiance leave you? Okay. Can't continue to ride his skateboard if another company pays him millions, said Corvids. So MJF said he's been ready since day one. 20 minutes nearly on this, 20 minutes. I'm the only pillar that can keep this place up, said MJF. I'm the only pillar that can keep this thing up. You all think you deserve a shot at this World Championship? You three are going to leave my party because none of you were invited. Thank you. Screw you. Goodbye. So he pushes Jungle Boy in the face. Jungle Boy wallops MJF from behind. Sammy attacks Jungle Boy. Darby Allin starts to unload on Sammy. Sammy knocks MJF into the cake. So MJF goes into the cake. He's covered in the cake. He puts his hat back on. You deserve it, Chance. Okay, so we still don't know quite where we stand with it. I could have eaten that, said Alfie. Heather said, holy bleep, those may be the 4 best promos they've ever done on Dynamite. I would have liked, I think, even Tony to have come out and just like given us some clarity as to where we're going with that. I mean, I'm guessing we'll hear from Tony later and he'll make an announcement. But like we've just seen like them getting out the ring looking like a bit. Okay, that's done now. I think we could have had a bit more of a Tony Khan coming out saying, "I love this passion." Do you know what I mean? A bit like how on like WWE, like I feel in that moment, Adam Pearce would have come out. Adam Pearce would have come out and would have said, I love what I'm seeing in the ring. I love the passion from all you guys. How about we do this? Like, I feel like it needed that exclamation point at the end. I suppose what it did get was MJF getting knocked into the cake. So you got that moment and then him kind of like walking off. But I think had this have been on Raw or SmackDown, we would have got Thingy coming out. We would have got Adam Pearce coming out and giving that, let's do this. Which, as I said, I'm guessing is on the way. Put in your thoughts. What did you think of it? It's a big statement made by AEW. 20 minutes. I mean, when have we seen the opening segments be promos and like 20 odd minutes? That's a big segment. That segment is designed to grab attention, to make a statement, to really get people talking. I love the fact they've done that. I love the fact that they've given us a segment that's so big and will, it depends what else happens tonight, but that is definitely a segment that is going to be broken down and poured over. People will be doing videos on it as we speak, really talking about the points that were made, the best lines that were in there, the who had the best promo. For me, the best promo was Sammy. I thought Sammy's promo was great. I really thought I think some of the humor that was in there maybe didn't need to be. I don't know that Darby Allin needed to put in the line about complaining on Twitter, for example. I think what might have been nicer if he'd have got himself worked up and built up. And I think when he says, do you know what, if you don't give me a title match, do you know what I'm going to do about it? And then had really built himself up and delivered but instead he goes, well, I'll go and complain on Twitter. I don't know that we needed the comedy in that moment, but I mean, it was still good. I mean, it was still really good. And even Jungle Boy's was good. Again, I would just say, though, with Jungle Boy, I do think it's interesting how he said, you've never even been on Dark, you've never been on Elevation, you've never been on Rampage, as if those are punishments. You do whatever you want. You've never even been to Rampage. It's I found that quite funny. Unintentionally funny. But, I mean, to put the 4 pillars in there at the start, you got to applaud that. You got to applaud that. It's a brave move. It's different. It's designed to get people talking. Whether it worked or not is obviously down to what you lot think, and we'll see what people thought of it. But, yeah, interesting. I thought Jungle Boy did a good job. I'm one of the few that really like him, said Lars. Kieran said the Twitter rant was needed too. The Twitter rant was needed. Jungle Boy's mic skills were rough, said Big Time Baxter. Mox cut himself on the way to the ring. Are we even surprised? I do find it strange. AEW ratings tend to be 9 or 10, but the equivalent in WWE is 7-ish, says LA Dortnight. It was a great segment. Fatal 4-way at Double or Nothing, ? Could be building that way, yeah. You've got to build the 4 pillars up before giving all 4 the spotlight, said to heel. Jessen said, I don't think that's what he meant. No, I don't think it's what he meant. But it's how it came across to me as I was watching it. What do you think about Triple H switch Butch back to Pete Dunne? What do I think about Triple H switching Butch back to Pete Dunne? I think it's been needed from the start. So I don't know where that news has come from, to be honest. I've been having PC trouble today. So I haven't seen, apart from James mentioning it earlier, I haven't seen where that's come from. But yeah, big fan. I mean, Butch was atrocious. I mean, it was one of those, we knew that the Doudrop name was going to have to be changed. And I think we've known that the Butch name was going to have to be changed. And for some reason, we're getting around to doing it now. Good. Was they talking about Cody out of his contracts? They did mention Cody. I respect everyone involved, said WrestleBuzz. I feel like MJF is just ahead of the rest. It's going to be a great match, but I feel like for the top title at the moment, it's not hitting for me. Tahil said it definitely worked. James said people overrate AEW. Mox fighting Hangman again. It is Blackpool Combat Club against Dark Order. That's what we've got now. Hello to Louise. Hope you are well. Does this feud ever end? So, Dark Order against Blackpool Combat Club. Put in your scores. Out of 5, what did you think about that last segment? I'd like to get a snapshot as to what people thought. Because, I really appreciate AEW doing it. I really appreciate them doing it because it's something that I think we've needed for a while, is like a segment that you can really get your teeth into, that you can really talk about, that you can really like ponder over. Because, largely matches are matches. And obviously some of the results are interesting, of course, and will spark conversation, but that's a big segment they just dropped there. I think we can at least agree on that. Big Time Back said 4. Jojo said 425. Matt said 4. Justin said 3. Scotty said 3. Donald said 3. Alfie said 4.5. Adamant, shout out to you. Ellis Dub said 4. Rare Breed said 4.5. It was almost perfect. Sandy said 4.5. Tim said this is the feud that never ends. Tony said 3. CJ said 4. Damien said 4.5. Luke said 4.5. Danielson is probably gone until Double or Nothing, so he can rest up, said Corvid. Pete Dunn news came from Wrestle Votes, said James. James, appreciate it. Henry gives it a 4. Travis with a 3. Godfather's Ho, 2 big cheeks out of 2. Henry said 3. Jason said 4. 4 for the 4 pillars. 4 for the 4 pillars is good. Henry with a 3. Tahil with a 9 out of 10. Louise with a 4 to 5. Jason with a 4 out of 10. WWE AEW fan said 4. Henry said 4. Ledge Killer said 4.5. Trey said 3. Henry said 4. Heel 96 said 4.6. Irish Rebel says 8. Henry says 4. Serge said 3. Lots of 4s. Look, Henry with the 4. Meave with the 3. Got to give it a 4, said the curse one. TJB said 6.66. Smurfy Toon said 4 cakes out of 5. Is this a replay, says Linda. Yeah, so lots of scores coming in. Lots of 4s. A few 3s in there as well. Yeah. I really appreciate the segment. For me personally, I'd probably go like 3.5, 3.75, somewhere around there. But, good talking point, good opening segment, yeah. So, underway with, it's one of those that I just know right now there's buzz about it. I know that people on Twitter are going to be buzzing about that segment, and that's exactly what AEW needs. It needs that kind of what did you think about this? I don't feel like I've had that in a while. What did you think about that? What did you think about this? Forearm strikes coming in by John Moxley. Mox is going to bleed in seconds, said Bryson. The cake thing looked very sports entertainment, said Big Time Baxter. Yeah, in all fairness, I think as soon as we saw the cake, we knew. So I can't say it was the biggest shock in the world. I think for me to have improved it, I would have liked something before they came out that was more than just being bounced around in the chair. Maybe GIFs in the ring. And you could, with MJF, man, some of the comedy that you could have got out of that. Imagine some of the GIFs MJF could have got and some of the fun he could have had with that. That could have been really entertaining. I just felt like we didn't do much with the bar mitzvah. Obviously the focus was the promos. So I understand that we had to get to those because we had to do 4 promos. So I understand we needed to get to those. But I think I would have liked a little something more there. And yeah, as we said, maybe some of the lines just didn't quite work for me. But yeah, I know I keep saying the same thing, but I really appreciate the fact that we've got a segment we can talk about and we can debate and share opinions on. Good. We need more dandy highwaymen, said Adamant. Moxley always bleeds. Matt said, I'm starting to enjoy AEW. Samantha said, I've not seen AEW in a while. It seems like Moxley is the modern Stone Colds. I mean, suppose, yeah. He's not got the or he's not like rebelling against Tony the way that like Stone Colds did, for example. But that kind of no-nonsense, coming down, raising hell type attitude, yeah. Moxley Mad Bleeds from the Breeze said, I don't care what you think. Days, a gallon or a litre of blood tonight? I call me naive, but I'm thinking that there won't be much because this is a tag match and Moxley's not going to be involved all that much. And honestly, this match really, really does not need blood. I mean, if there was a match where you could go up to John and say, listen, love your work, but this is you against the Dark Order, right? I know that Hangman's on the other side of the ring, right? We really don't need blood here. This match genuinely doesn't need it. So I'm thinking that I would even go as far as say that if there was a match where we don't get any, it might be this one. So we'll have to see. I might be like naive. By the end of it, he might just be absolutely drenched. But at the moment, we've got Blackpool Combat Club in control. Bleeding in wrestling doesn't make the match better, said Sean. Deserves, says the cursed one. Maggie said, I would love some more dandy highwaymen. Tony said, Mox bleeds a cup. They could start doing that with the news Moxley was upset with the house shows, says Tahil. Falls Live Tut. Shout out to you. I can't wait to see Jade tonight. Buns out, guns out, said Godfather's Ho. So, I don't know if we were at commercial break. Hangman going over to the crowd, just G'ing them up there. And there was quite a long hold that was applied, so I could believe that we were at commercial. But right now, we've got Claudio in there. So, we've got him kicking at the heads. Or forearm strike. Grayson, uppercut by Claudio. Claudio going for the cover. And kick out by Grayson. True, Moxley could supply a blood bank with the way he goes, said Alfie. Do you think the show goes up or down from last week? I was thinking post-show may give them a boost, but hardly any tuned in. The post-show might give them a boost. What do you mean, the post-show? What do you mean? Was last week the Power Slap final? Is that what you mean? Is this the first week of the... Or was last... When... have I missed it? Have I missed the AEW All Access thing? Has that just passed me by? Or is that this week? Did that show happen? I don't... Honestly, I'm not even being funny. I don't know. When's the first episode? Because no one has mentioned it to me. All Access. That is March, isn't it? It premieres on March 29th. Okay. That's good. March 29th. So it's not tonight. It wasn't last week, and it's not tonight. I think last week was Power Slam. For a sec, I genuinely thought I'd missed it then. I don't even know if it's been shown in the UK, you know. I have absolutely no idea. Kip up by Hangman. Goes over the top. Back in the ring. Wheelie Uter. Double axe handle. Oh. Left arm lariat. Down goes Wheelie Uter. Evil Uno is getting back up in the corner. Goes over. Grabs Wheelie Uter. Picks up Uter. Uter lands on his feet. Chops coming in by Uter. Uter goes against the ropes. Duck underneath by Hangman. Power bomb. Wheelie Uter down. Wheelie Uter going over. Didn't like that. Wheelie Uter was down and starts like shifting his body over in a really obvious way so that he could get closer to Evil Uno. I'm sure Evil Uno could have just made it. I don't think he needed to like scoot his body over. Right, Moxley's in. Hangman is in. Hangman and Moxley in a ring again. Everyone on their feet as these two come face to face. Forearm strikes being exchanged by both guys. Yeah, nice reaction by the fans there. Even though we've seen this like loads of times, the crowd in attendance know that this is a big deal. Hangman was going for the buckshot lariat. Gets smacked in the face by the ring bell. Hangman goes down. Evil Uno comes round. Evil Uno comes round with Grayson. Hangman is down. He is out. He's had his bell rung. So Wheeler Uter using the bell. Is Hangman not the legal man? Hangman's the legal man, isn't he? Is the referee just completely lost control? What's the referee doing? Hangman's the legal man. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. Like, I believe that Hangman is the legal man with Moxley in this match. Stu Grayson's going up. But who can get the pin? Evil Uno went for the pin. Evil Uno went for the pin, but Stu Grayson going for the cover on 1, 2. Okay, so we saw. I just saw a tag between Grayson and Evil Uno. So Grayson, from where we are right now, Grayson is the legal man. Pele kick there by. This is awesome, chant. Hurricanrana by Grayson. Kick out by Claudio. Uter pulls the leg of Evil Uno. Evil Uno goes down. Uppercut. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the match. It looks like Moxley has got submission hold applied to Grayson. We know that Evil Uno is down and out. And he taps. And that looks like it's going to be the end of this. Moxley continuing to apply this hold and leave it on. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Claudio was standing opposite the entrance ramp to make sure no one can come in. No one was keeping an eye on Evil Uno, who just slides into the ring on the side. Why wasn't he watching Evil Uno? Got a couple of Dark Order people that have come down. Okay. Would be a great time for Brody Lee. Mass confusion, says Linda. I mean, look, let's focus on the positives, right? I actually thought seeing Evil Uno and Grayson working together, who I believe were the Super Smash Bros. I actually thought, like, when Hangman was taken out of the picture and we saw them working together, that was pretty fun. Like, them as a tag team, if they were given some wins and some, like, momentum, there's clearly a chemistry there. So, that was all right. That was nice. Moxley didn't bleed. That's a positive. I mean, he didn't need to bleed in it. We said that. He didn't need to bleed in this one. He really, really did not need to bleed. And he didn't. And so, like, that's a positive as well. Crowd popped when we got Hangman and Moxley in the ring at the same time. So, as much as we've seen that again and again and again, the crowd was still very involved. Like, the crowd stood up and it was like, oh, here we go. So, I mean, that says that the crowd are very much into them still feuding. They're still interested. If you put two wrestlers in a match like that and they come face to face and the crowd go, here we go, and they all, like, get up and there's, like, a buzz and excitement, that says that people, certainly AEW hardcore fans, are not burnt out by it. So I'd say those are the positives. And then, like, as we said during the watch long, I didn't know who the legal person was. There seemed to be quite a bit of confusion at times. Claudio watching, like, the entranceway and no one looking after Evil Uno, and he was able to come in and just seemed a bit silly, just seemed a bit nonsensical. So yeah, definitely some low moments, but there's some we can find some positives as well. We can definitely find some positives hiding in there. Jeff Jarrett, what year is this? Says Samantha. Can we get the belt off Jade and give her a very long vacation? Says Corvid. Heather said, please don't be Taya Valkyrie. Please don't let Taya get squashed. Crying face, crying face, crying face. That is the favorite. I mean, I actually don't know who it is. So, I don't know who it is. But, yeah. Let's see. I don't know who it is. But there are some names that well, let's see who it is. If you thought that was confusing, wait until the Trios Triple Threat. Well, talking about the Trios Triple Threat, we asked the chat, who's going to leave as Champione of that match? And I can jump over and exclusively reveal, although I'm pretty sure you can check the results yourselves as well, that 346 votes came in. 72% of people, 72%, very high, think that it will be the House of Black. 22%, which is actually higher than I thought, but 22% of people think that it will be the Elites. 6% think Jericho Appreciation Society. So we've got a bit of well, not a mixed bag. Vast majority of people are thinking House of Black will retain, but there's a good chunk of people thinking that belt could go back, or those belts could go straight back to the Elites. So, interesting. 351 votes is a good sample size. As soon as you get over 250 votes, you don't see much in the way of movement. So, I think that kind of gives us a good indication as to where people's heads are at. So 70% think it's going to be, or just over think it's going to be House of Black. Around about 20% think that it's going to be Elite, and then the rest think Jericho Appreciation Society. Shakti said it's going to be Brandy. Yes. David said it'll be Taya. Let's go. House of Black, said Lone Star Friend. Henry, good night. Alfie said, I'm the tiny percentage that think Jericho Appreciation Society. See the bruises around his eye. I mean, this is 2 weeks later, or a week and a half later. I mean, that is, that bruising looks, that must have been pretty nasty for him. Just showing MJF, that's what I was referring to. Let's go down to the ring. Here we go then. Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, open challenge. She is making her way down with some girl. I can't remember her name, but the graphic will tell me. Layla Gray. Jade Cargill. The longest reigning champion in AEW history of any kind. Huh? Nicole Matthews? My prediction is that something's going to happen after here. My prediction is, bear with this. I don't know anything, genuinely. But they made a big thing about this open challenge. Okay, Jade against Nicole Matthews. This could be a better way of doing it, though, in all fairness, because let's say Taya Valkyrie comes out, right? Or Valkyria, or whatever her name is. She comes out after this. Then you could potentially set up that match for whatever the next big pay-per-view is. Jade Cargill wins, right? She wins a nothing match, a squash match. Here we go. 54-0, said Junior. $54-0. Here's Renee Baguette. Renee's jumping in to have a words. You are now 54-0. What kind of competition are you looking for? Are you from Canada? Yes! Yeah, I definitely want this. Oh, she gives Renee a little kiss on the forehead. Is that all you've got to offer, Canada? Renee getting out of there. And here's Taya Valkyrie. Taya Valkyrie. We're a loca. We're a loca. Okay, Taya Valkyrie making her way down. Don't dance, said Corvids. Taya looks way too much like Tony Storm, said Mitchell. Okay. So there was rumors of this. So she gets into Jade's face. Good size. She's just as tall. Layla Gray trying to get involved, and Jade tells her to move out the way. Jade is going to exit the ring. Layla Gray goes to hit Taya Valkyrie. And plants her down. Jaded by Taya. Taya is still Impact Knockout Tag Champion, said Jim. Corvid said WWE messed up releasing her. Taya's about a foot bigger than Toni Storm, says Maggie. She did that better than Jade. Okay, so Jade walking off. This is going to be a big match made for the future. Okay. Is she still MLW Ladies Champion? I honestly don't know. Here's Ricky Starks. It's really easy to attack a guy from behind, isn't it, Juice? So Ricky Starks, obviously, coming off that attack by Juice Robinson. You're part of Bullet Club. That was relevant about 2015. If it's an issue with me, then come on and bring it. Anytime, any place. Okay, Ricky Starks cutting a short little promo backstage. We are 8 minutes away from the halftime scores. And now we've got some... Is this for Shazam? Are they playing a trailer or something? What was that? I think they might have had a bit of trouble playing the footage because it seemed like Excalibur was like building up to Shazam or something to do with Shazam, and then nothing happened. And then Taz was like, I tell you, we've got a great live crowd here in Winnipeg. It is awesome. And it was just a bit awkward. And then it started. So I think there was a little production botch. I think they had trouble starting that footage momentarily. I've got a black screen right now. Oh. I've still got the audio. No. Yeah, it keeps coming and going. I've still got the audio. We're at commercial break. Oh, I think they cut it. Yeah, they cut it. Somewhat sounded like it sounded a bit like Jungle Boy saying something. I think he said like great t-shirt. I think he said something like, "Oh, great t-shirt," and someone went, "Can get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, he said something. He was like, "Thank you very much." So I don't know what that was. I don't know what that audio was coming from, but there was a bit of audio that they didn't cut. Meave said, people talking. I fill me in on the audio. We're in on commercial. It wasn't much. It sounded like Jungle Boy to me because I could hear him saying great t-shirt and then someone complimented him and he was like, thank you very much. and it sounded like someone wanted a picture or something. So, yeah, it sounded like it was in the crowds or by the crowds. If I was to guess, I would have said Jungle Boy, or someone had come out and just was like meeting a few people on the edge of the crowd or something, and like seemed like the audio was coming from there. I was hoping that the commentators were going to say something, but they didn't. And as we said, we moved away from it for about a minute. Days, where did you go? Where did I go? I didn't go anywhere. I was listening to this. Oh, did I hold it up and hide myself? Oh, okay, got you. It's because Ricky has got drip. What about Death Dolls? They're still champions. Shout out to Death Dolls. It's a good name, actually. Death Dolls. 2023, why have you got a Dell upgrade or do hard times? This is a good laptop. This is got an NVIDIA graphics card in it. This is a laptop that I've streamed on in the past, so no, I'm a fan. Sign me up. Although I'm not a big fan of Dell at the moment, let me tell you. It's my Dell's PC that went down today. So, yeah, actually, I'm not a big fan of Dell. And do you know what? Dell customer services, I'm going to rant now. Dell customer services are atrocious. If they're friendly, but they're flipping useless. Okay, we've got QTV, so I can't rant yet. But basically, I now know how to remove a graphics card. No thanks to Dell. Nobody knows who did it. Okay, so they're showing Wardlow's vehicle being broken into. Okay, so is that Solo? Wardlow shouldn't be surprised. Last year, MJF stole his momentum. What next for Wardlow? Whatever's next for Batista, but just not as good. Welcome to Will's World. Okay. She's annoying, isn't she? That woman. They've said the B word about a dozen times already, said Lars. Entertaining, said LT. I would rather hear the rant than QT, said Travis. Yeah, well, let me tell you. Flipping called up Dell's customer services because I've got a little bit of protection on this computer where they'll, help you out. So hit them up and they were like, have you checked the power cable? Have you checked this? Have you checked that? Yes. Right? Get to the point where it's like, have you removed the graphics cards? No. I've never done that in my life. I've only ever opened up a PC once in my life, and that was to add some RAM. I've certainly never taken out a graphics card. So he's like, all right, I'll send you a step-by-step guide on how to do it. This step-by-step guide was useless. He sent me a step-by-step guide that didn't even look like my computer, didn't have the same kind of, I had to do stuff that wasn't in the step-by-step guide. Cut a long story short, I take the graphics cards out, sent him an email, didn't get a response for about an hour. So then I was like, well, what? I've got my PC in bits here. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got graphics cards out. I've got these brackets out. I've got the PC open. Do I look like an engineer? So then I had to get in touch with them again, explained everything to a second guy, and he was like, right, okay, I think we will send you a new motherboard. I was like, hang on, who said anything about a new motherboard? Where did this new motherboard come from? Where did a new did you mention a new I didn't mention a new motherboard. I'm at the moment, I've got a graphics card that's just lying here. What am I meant to do with this? It's like, yeah, we'll get you the engineer. What's your address? I'm like, hang on, what? What? What do you mean? What are you on about? What? So I need a new motherboard? No, I mean, I got told to remove a graphics card. What, did I just do that for giggles? Did I just do that to, like... That's cool. That's nice. Someone dressed as Shockmaster put his hand out and Orange Cassidy gives it. That's nice. Respect. Shockmaster in the crowd. Amazing. So I had to put the graphics card back in for no reason, like, because I took it out for no reason. Do you know how long it took me to figure out how to remove that graphics card? And no one has got back to me and told me that, like, what I needed to do. I literally removed it for no reason. And I was proper wrestling with it as well because there was a clip I hadn't undone. I might have broken it, I have no idea. Proper like, come on. I thought it was being stubborn. I was like, screaming away, trying to pull this graphics card out. And then the dude turns around and goes, all right, we'll send you a new motherboard. That's my rant. Whole thing was like a few hours of just stress. I got in touch with them thinking, oh, I hope they can sort it remotely. I hope they'll be able to, like, dial in and do something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that'd be good if they could sort it remotely. Fast forward half an hour, I'm wrestling with the insides of the PC. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. I'm a flipping idiot. You watch these streams. Shockmaster, king of the butches. The butches. I've got butch on the brain because of pizza. You sound like me every other week when I have to take my phone back to the phone shop, says Maggie. Trying to figure out how to remove that graphics card. So difficult for me. To then get in touch with another person and for them to not even acknowledge the graphics card. There was the graphics card never even got mentioned again. There was absolutely no need for me to have done it. And instead, like, there's an engineer coming round now on Friday with a motherboard. And I'm not even convinced that's the problem. We have done no diagnostics or anything, right? The motherboard might be fine. Do you know, and just to finish on this rant, because I'm going to move on, I promise. He said, I'll get you an engineer, I'll send you an email, right? I have still not had that email. I have still not had the email confirming that the engineer is coming round. In fact, I haven't even heard back from the first person that I spoke to at Dell. Ugh. Yeah. Not impressed. Right, we're underway. Orange Cassidy, Jeff Jarrett. Well, I will say, though, I'm very grateful that this backup computer has worked, touch wood, so far. It's managed to get us through 2 hours, 4 minutes, hasn't it? So, and we don't stream tomorrow. On Friday, the engineer should be around, so hopefully by SmackDown, we're back, baby. I can still use this PC to set streams up and do bits, so yes. That was nice. I enjoyed that Shockmaster moment. We had to take a break from my rant to acknowledge the guy dressed as Shockmaster. Jeff Jarrett backing up with a few kicks. So we have been starting with Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett as the first segment. Instead, we started with the 4 pillars. Probably because we know that the best ratings normally tend to be at the start and then it'll tail off. I think with MJF being out there and the 4 pillars and a engaging promo segment, that's going to have held people around for a while. I think people will have seen that through. I think then you go into Moxley, who I think, tends to do well with ratings. So then we go into that. And then I think then, we might start seeing the ratings dropping down. But Orange Cassidy tends to do pretty well with ratings. So him being the way that we start the second hour makes sense. Jeff Jarrett on the outside with Orange Cassidy, hurling him over to the Timekeeper's area. So Orange Cassidy is down. Jeff Jarrett coming over. So they're in with the crowd now. Shot coming in. Is this a special stipulation? Referee is out there telling them to get back in the ring. I don't know if this is special stipulation, if this is like falls count anywhere, or if they're meant to be counting or whatever. Trash can thrown at Orange Cassidy. Tony says, we don't want a count out or a double count out. We want to get a winner in the ring. So I think what he's trying to do is just sort of say that, yeah, we've got rules, but we don't want to follow them. Yeah, we got rules, but like we don't want to be handcuffed by rules. So we're in the crowds. I got some lag after you said SmackDown, and then we're back, baby, said Tim. Oh, really? I better not speak, had I? Better not say anything then about it. If the ref exits the ring because he can keep counting because he's breaking the rules too, said Corvid. Legend Killer says, come on, Orange Cassidy. Brandon said, Days, green shirts, guy, WWE SmackDown, St. Patrick's Day. I don't even know when St. Patrick's Day is, but no count-outs anymore. I think they've already kind of covered it on commentary by saying, like, we don't want the match to end by count-out. We don't want a count-out or a double count-out. Okay, so we're still on the outside. Shots coming in. They've buried the ref again, said Travis. The Excalibur said the unenviable job of the referee. His discretion is really coming into play right now. Isn't it just? Isn't it just? This is basically falls count anywhere, isn't it? It's an arena match. Excalibur. Jeff Jarrett gets back in the ring. Someone will have timed that. Satnam Singh grabs Orange Cassidy, chucks him back in the ring as well. Genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, I wonder what the record is for people spending the most time outside of a ring and not being counted out. Like, I genuinely don't know. That is not something that I have ever kept track of. That might be the best example I could give. I don't know that I could. I can't think of one that's longer than that. For example, is there another example? Maybe even a WWE. This is not even a WWE AEW thing. I'm not interested. Right? Genuinely, like, I don't know that I could think of one that's longer than that. Not obviously, I can think of one longer if the match was Falls Count Anywhere or it was like, you was allowed last man standing or something. But where it's like you are meant to be getting counted out, I don't know that I could think of one. Are we getting a fatal 4-way for the title? I don't think they've announced that, to be honest. I don't think they've announced a fatal 4-way. It would seem to make sense to do a triple threat with the winner going on to face MJF. That's what I would have expected Tony to have come out and announced. But I don't think we've actually done anything with that segment. Unless I missed it and like there was something said. One of the things I mentioned at the end of that opening segment was I felt we needed Tony coming out and delivering the exclamation point at the end, Hands are in the pockets here by Orange Cassidy. I think the Bryce character is a dumb ref, said to heel. Jodo knows me well. Handman Danielson was a long one, said Chip Freshly. That is true. That is true. That is true. That was a criticism. I don't know that it was as long. But that is true. That was a long one. That's a good shout. Mitchell said, "What is your halftime score?" I do have halftime score here. Does it work? Halftime score, everybody. It's the halftime score. Oh well, hang on. I'll just do it. Know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Mitchell said, "What's your halftime score?" Well, what's your halftime score? I'm at a 7 to 7.5. I'm glad that Jeff Jarrett just made it back in the ring in 10 seconds. Ignore the arena part. Yeah, I would probably be. Don't know where I'd be. I mean, the opening segment was good, really good. As I said, that would be about 3.5, 3.75 for that. Wasn't crazy about the match. Taya Valkyrie thing was a bit spoiled anyway, and she doesn't really do it for me because I don't watch Impact, so I only really know her from NXT, and she wasn't really anything special in NXT. Oh, here's Aubrey. Aubrey, look at Aubrey marching away down. Roll up by Orange Cassidy on Jeff. Aubrey came down. What the hell? Well, she pushed him. She touched him. Why is she allowed to shove him and he's not allowed to shove her back? When did it become acceptable for like officials to just? It wasn't much of a push, but there was physical contact there. Just got tossed from ringside. Aubrey is like a caricature of a referee. Rashawn said 6.75. Yeah, I'll probably be about that. I'll be about that. Samantha said, "I've not caught up with the storylines of any of the shows. I find it more entertaining than Raw, though, that I watch every week." Shaquem says, "Lol." John said, "MJF said he wasn't going to defend the belt often, so it would be on brand for him to not defend until Double or Nothing." Ledge Killer said 6.5. I've got, I didn't get a chance to read some of those scores, did I? Orange Cassidy is down. I do want to get some of those scores. Here we go. 7.5 from Samantha to heel, 8.5. Orange Cassidy kicks out. Meave, 6.5. Greg with an 8. Rare Breed said 8. It's a great show. WWE and AEW fans said 7. Donald said 7. Shaquem said 5. Smurfy said 100 out of 10 for Daisy's singing. I didn't think it would work, to be honest. I didn't even know it was set up. Boomers said 5.5. Alfie says 8. Alex said 6.7. Justin says 7. Boom. That's where we are. Wrestling Andy said, did the commentary team address the Roxanne Perez situation? No. Alex said 6.7. Trey said 6. Orange Cassidy retains. So Orange Cassidy gets a pin on Jeff Jarrett. 4-on-1 handicap. Rowit says, please. Rowit, what are we pleasing? Meave said 4-on-1 handicap. Rain Club said 10. X Mulder says 8. Zoom Station said 6. Alfie said, Tony must be sniffing coke right now. Justin said, never mind, 5 out of 10. This match was boring. Jim said 7.5. Orange Punch is better than the Superman Punch. Rowit said, please respond. I did. I saw your please. Had Orange officially married Tony Khan yet? Has Orange officially married Tony Khan yet? Yes. Let's go, yes. Right, we're backstage with Jericho. And we've got House of Black. And there we go. Boom. Done. We've gone to commercial break. Corvid said the right man won. 1 Minute Wrestler says 7. Funko said 8 as long as the main is clutch. Chris said 20 out of 20. Chip Freshly says 5.5. Big Guy said Orange versus Reigns, Battle of the Punches. Linda says 6. Bonzo said, we need the Wheel of Fun song back. Give us them sweet tones. That was, I was just about to say it was never recorded, but of course it was recorded because it's on old streams. So I would have to go and find... I ain't singing it again. I don't even know if I can remember it, to be honest. I don't think we've done that, since 2019. I'm pretty sure, because YouTube changed a few things about, doing giveaways and whatever. You had to become a lot more careful with how you did things like that. And that's why it, went away. But I don't think we've done that since 2019. I'm pretty sure 2020 we didn't do it. I don't think it was the start of 2021. I'm pretty sure it was the start of 2020. So it's been a while. That's a deep, as the kids say, that's a deep cut right there. Right, we are at commercial break. Linda said AEW never fails. That's for sure. Mitchell said, I think the main will be good as long as they don't get pressed for time. Let Him In said 6. Paul said AEW behind the scenes looks dumb for older fans. As much as I would like to see certain things, they definitely ruin kayfabe. Big Time Baxter is at a 6 at the moment. Right, we know we're 20 minutes into... Wheel of Fun died when I joined, said James. James is the Wheel of Fun killer. That is correct. Maggie said, did you join in 2019, James? Long time. Where it said, it's the Wheel of Fun. Everybody loves the Wheel of Fun. What was that? Is that the wheel? It's the Wheel of Fun. Memories. My issue with Orange retaining, said Chip Freshly, is they went all into the trouble of renaming the belt to bring some more attention to just have Orange keep it. Well, what I would say is I think they have renamed it because I don't think the All Atlantic thing made sense. Certainly with some of the flags on and everything that's been pointed out. I wonder if they've got plans to do something with it in the future. What with them doing the UK show and going to Canada, perhaps they needed to change the belt, but they didn't feel that they needed to change the champion. But they just wanted to, bring some better clarity maybe to what the title is about. What's this? Put the double scissors up. It's acclaimed for life. This is all right. We can't stop. We got something to prove to you. It's a bit of a love letter to the fans, this one. Yeah, that was all right. Better than Hit Row. Hit Row. Hit no, hit no. Hit no, hit no. Right, here are the Outcasts. Oh no, they've given Ruby some green spray paint as well. Put the spray paint away. Is this something that kids still do? I mean, in my mind, this is what kids were doing in the 80s. This is like Bart Simpson stuff. I don't know that the kids are going around graffitiing things anymore. Maybe they are. I'm pretty sure they're probably just online these days. Creating nasty AI images. That's what the kids do now. They create disrespectful AI artwork. Or really great pictures of female Barack Obama. I mean, never forget. Never forget. If you are just joining us, female Barack Obama. As created by Triple T. I mean... There was a time when the grass was greener here, says Ruby. Saraya. AEW is our house. You should be kissing the ground that we walk on. I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. Tony, take over from here. I'm getting mad. When I became an interim champion. Interim. Why is her eyes always closed when she's promoing? What's she doing? Let's do it. When I was interim champion. Interim. Does she write a promo on the inside of her eyelids? Not going anywhere. They're graffiti artists now. I personally know one who drew a Scooby-Doo on the exterior wall of my work. It was a really good Scooby-Doo. Right, they're talking about Willow. Dr. Britt Baker. And your favourite, the champion, Jamie Hayter. These guys. These girls, man. Okay, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter come running down. They managed to wallop a couple of them. Belts being taken off by Britt. Tony chokes Britt with the belt. Is Reba going to come down? We need Reba. Where's Reba gone? Do you remember, for the longest time, there was 3 of them. Now there's only 2. Where's Reba? Have they got rid of Reba? Your Ultimate Edition action figure is going to come with a Wheel of Fun, said Wrestle with Andy. Here's Riho coming down with Sky Blue. Oh, well, actually, just dawned on me. There's Riho. And Willow. Yeah, where did Reba go? That's unlike anything we've seen from Rio. Okay. After the striker crisis, we are facing a bad situation. Can need to get treatment for my son. Have you got a GoFundMe? Rowit. Denzel said they actually did get rid of her. What? She's gone? Maggie said, thank you for the stream. I need to get up early. No worries. Maggie, shout out to you. See you next time. Friday, maybe. Who knows? Who knows if I'll be here? Who knows if Dell Engineer is going to allow... Well, I mean, we'll still use this computer if not, but... Stupid Dell. Don't get me started. They took Rebel off TV because she was Brit's heel crony, and now Brit isn't a heel. They had to ditch Rebel. Now their faces, not a joke. Why? Why? Has she not got the ability to be a face? I don't understand. Britt was a heel, and she's turned face. Jamie was a heel, she's turned face. And Tony's looked at Rebel and gone, oh, there's no way that you can be a face, is there? No, I can. It's fine. I can do it. No, I can. It's fine. I can be a face. You know, like how Britt was a heel. She's a face. And Jamie, I can do the same. No. What? Why not? No. No. I have not heard that. I mean, you've got Ruby, and you've got Tony, and you've got Saraya, and you've got these 3 women, and for the longest time there was 3 of Rebel and Britt and Jamie, and now we've gone down to 2, and they need some help. I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer. Do you reckon there was some personal stuff that was going on? Maybe she turned up like a bit late or something. Do you reckon she like had a bit of punctuality issues, or don't know? Perhaps she used to deal Tony Khan some of his supply, and maybe she missed a few shipments and she got into the bad books. I have no idea. I don't know what's gone on, but that seems crazy to me. There must be some. There must be more to that. Mustn't there? Must be more to that. That's the point. The storyline is the faces are the underdogs, says Corvids. Yeah, but like they just had to have someone come down and save them. So like they just had to have someone come down, and we've just ended that segment with 5 in the ring. So they've got numbers. Numbers aren't the issue. Like you could have just had Britt and Jamie come down to the ring. Oh my God, they need help. Oh my God, here's Rebel. Here's Reba. Yay! 3-on-3. Yay! Instead, we just had Sky Blue, Riho, and Willow come down. So we just ended that segment with 3 heels and 5 faces. So it's not a numbers thing. If I was Rebel, I'd be like, I'd go home and I'd act like a face. I'd record it and I'd give him the tape. I'd be like, I can do it. Here's the evidence. I can do it. These guys are always coked up, said Justin. I joined during the original Funhouse episodes. Well, in many ways, James, I do see you as like very much the community, one of the community's puppets. I think you are very much, I could see you as being a little James. If we were to do some puppets for the community, I would definitely have an Austin 316, and we'd have a Sonny, and we'd have a William Hensey, who we would never see. I'd make sure he was locked away. But we would have a James Chadwick as well, who would always be bleeped out. Always just coming out with like really inappropriate things that we have to bleep out. Right. Ray Phoenix against Powerhouse Hobbs. We got Hook against Stokely Hathaway in a no DQ match. We're going to have more matches being announced Friday for St. Patrick's Day Slam. So St. Patrick's Day coming up. Main event time. 28 minutes left in the show, and it is main event time. Trios Championship. So, let's have a little look. 489 votes. 69% said House of Black. 23% said Elite, and 8% say Jericho Appreciation. Michael says, can I get a shout out? Yes. Michael Marone, Tribal Chief. Shout out to you. Puppet, most would say Muppet, said James. They're going to bring in Swoggle for St. Patrick's Day, ? Says Corvids. Don't know, they could do. Here's House of Black, HOB, Hob. Here's Hob. We got Hob versus Jess versus the Elite. Britt and Sky Blue and Jamie versus Ruby, Soraya, Tony, says Boomers. Freebird said it's time for the main events. They look awesome. Love this entrance, says Rare Breeds. Corvid said, I'm sure the entrances plus commercials before the match could take up about 10 minutes. Rowit said, the GoFundMe isn't available. We need antibodies in Sri Lanka. If anyone can help, please donate to the hospital, says Rowit. Well, there must be some sort of, safe way to provide money. I mean, there must be some sort of means. If there's not a GoFundMe, then I would imagine there'd be some other way. As the hospital must have something. There must be. If you're asking people to donate to a hospital, then you have to direct them somewhere. You know. There must be how would people be able to make donations? There must be a way that's set up in order for people to do that. If not, I would strongly urge that you look into setting something up, because then you would be able to share links to that on social media, and it would give people a destination to go to in order to support. So I would think that would be the next step, my friend. Why does it sound like a scam? Don't know. I mean, like, listen, we know there's bad things going on in the world. You have to be very careful. I would definitely, because there are scams like this out there, I would definitely advise them to go through channels which can make people feel comfortable that if they did want to donate, they would know they were donating to something genuine. The Elite have come down. Smurfy says, don't get scammed. Paul said, as long as I really like House of Black, they should have done Omega versus Jericho one-on-one in Winnipeg for the first time. Jojo said, everyone is the legal man in this match. Smitster said, how hyped are you for this trio's title match? So. I mean, it only changed the other week, so I don't think we're going to get a title change. I think if we take it off House of Black now, I mean, that'd just be crazy to me. I'm not the biggest Young Bucks fan, to be honest. I mean, I don't have a problem with them. I just don't massively enjoy their style of wrestling. So I can't say this is one that massively appeals to me personally, but I understand the appeal. I understand that there will be people that will be very, very excited for this. And you got to say, there's a lot of star power in this match. Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Chris Jericho. I mean, just them alone being in this match. But then add in the likes of Sammy Guevara, add in the likes of House of Black. It's definitely got the star power. There's Ted Irvin, NHL legend. Chris Jericho's dad. Is an elite split coming, says Brian. Oh, well, that would be fun. That would be good. I would like to see that. I would like Kenny to go on his own. Big match this for Winnipeg, of course. I mean, there will be a moment in this match, you'd have to think, where Jericho is going to be in the ring with Kenny. And that's going to be a fun moment. If the Elite lose, I'll lose my damn mind, said Alfie. Jericho's dad knows the lyrics. I feel like Buddy Matthews needs to get some tattoos. I feel like he stands out a little. You got Brody King that's just covered. Malachi that's covered. And then you've got fresh face Buddy Matthews. Do you reckon they've had that word with him? Do you reckon they've gone, if you're going to be in this group, you need to be getting some tattoos? He's gone, what? Can be anything. You can choose. We're not even going to tell you what to get. Could be anything. Could have just like loads of Tony Khan faces all over you if you want, but you are going to need to get some tattoos. If you're going to take this group seriously. Get ready to lose your damn mind, says Brian. That would be awesome. If the Elite split, that would be, honestly, that'd be really good. Kojiko's here. Kangaroos use their tails for balance whilst hopping, so elevating their tail causes them to lose their balance and fall over. Stupid kangaroos. Stupid kangaroos. Zoom Station says, I love Brody King. Shaquem said, put fake tattoos on him. Yes. Yes, now we're talking. You know those ones that you put water on? Peel them up. Imagine him having to do that before every show. Just full body tattoos. Just a big one. Peels it off. Brilliant. And you could change them as well. Amazing. Maybe he could even sell it as advertising space. Make a little bit of extra revenue. He could have Shazam fake tattooed onto his chest to promote the movie out on March 17th. Shazam. Here we go. Kenny gets into the face of Jericho. Kenny and Jericho in the ring, but in comes House of Black. Are they heels, House of Black? They just ruined that moment. I thought they were faces. Kicks coming in. What the hell is this? Three-way. Three-way. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Three-way. Woo! Oh, I wish I had my sounds. Oh, I can do them. Woo! Yeah! Wow! He should get sponsored by Prime Tattoo. Prime Tattoo. He could have a giant Coca-Cola logo on him as a little reference to CM Punk's. Right, I don't know if we're at commercial break or not. We've still got 19 minutes, so there's plenty of time left for this match. Brody King just went over to someone in the crowd that I think said something that caught his attention. I don't know where Julia Hart went. I haven't seen where she went. I'm guessing she... Oh, there she is. I'm going to say, I'm guessing she's out there. She is at ringside. Do you know what, right? She's got it made, isn't she? She's got it made. All she has to do is stand there. She just stands there, watches, and is getting paid to do it. She is closer to the action than any of those fans. And she doesn't need to do anything. She just stands and watches. Like, she's literally just arms behind her back, just standing there, and she is getting paid all the whilst, like, she's doing it. She has absolutely cracked life at a very young age. And she gets to wear a nice hat. Brody King working on Jericho. I don't know if we're at commercial break or not. Power Slap was a horrible concept. Good luck shopping that out to a streaming service, says Heather. Come on, House of Black, said Legend Killer. Coach Co said, in a lifetime, the average person produces 25,000 quarts of saliva or spittle. That is enough saliva to fill 2 swimming pools. Rainbow, that's interesting, Coach Co. Shout out to you. I was up at 5 a.m., went to work from my nan's house, got a kid's school. Shout out to you. R.I.P. to Power Slap. It was a show that hardly any of us watched. Chris said, I did my predictions, but I've not posted it on YouTube yet. Okay. That's a lot of spit, says Brian. Is Julia related to Bret Hart? Only through wrestling. That's it. Not any other way, no. Backbreaker by Jericho on Malachi. AEW returns to Las Vegas. May 24th, Dynamite and Rampage, Double or Nothing, May 28th. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And we've got Jericho Appreciation Society posing away. Having a little pose. Tomorrow is 316 Day. Happy 316 Day, said Justin. Corvid said AEW is great. And then it disappeared. Mitchell said, I like boobs. Power Slap was done. Is it done, is it? Is it gone? Is it done? Is it dead? Is it died? Have they said it's not going to come back, or what? I don't know where the power slap conversation has come from. Power slap. I'll Google it and see what the latest is. Oh, okay. Power slap will not return for season 2. This was a couple of days ago. Dana White's Power Slap League booted from TBS after 1 season. Dana White's Power Slap canned by TBS. Power Slap experiment is over. Dana White's latest venture already has a new broadcast home. On Monday, Warner Media and TBS confirmed the network will no longer air it. The reality show competition debuted. We started it in 2022 due to the vast number of views that slap fighting was receiving on social media. Season culminated in exclusively on... The season culminated with a live event that broadcast on Rumble, a service touted as an alternative to YouTube. Do I need to be doing something on Rumble? What's Rumble? I've never even heard of it. It certainly feels like a good home for WWE content. Power Slap final to come, blah, blah, blah. Power Slap initially debuted. Viewership varied. Coming in, we haven't done that deal long time. So where's it going? I'm working on a deal right now to film the 2nd season. I don't think it actually says where it's going, but anyway, it's done, innit? It's done on TBS. It'll be interesting to see if the new AEW show... What's on tonight, then? What's on after AEW tonight? Because the new AEW show hasn't started yet, and Power Slap's not on. So what is on? Keep coming in. It's a far-right YouTube. Oh, it's political. Oh. When it said it was like a alternative to YouTube, I thought it meant like same as YouTube. Was Power Slap concept not getting over in Poland? I have no idea. Let me just check the viewing figures in Poland. Power Slap Poland. It was doing all right. No, I don't have those numbers. Big Bang Theory is on, said Big Time Baxter. Okay. I suppose that's just content you can just plug in for a few weeks, isn't it? And then the AEW show will start in a couple of weeks' time. Jericho is getting into the match then with Kenny. Omega. Smile on the face of Kenny. Jericho in there. Okay. Oh, are they going to thwart it? No, a couple of people try. Here's Brody King. He goes against the ropes. Jericho and Omega working together, clotheslining Brody King over the top to the outsides. Kenny has got a little Canadian flap. Shots coming in here by Jericho. Forearm strikes by Jericho. Jericho against the ropes. Knee strike. Beautiful by Kenny. But again, we go back to Brody and other people. Sammy off the top. Malachi with a kick. Kick coming in there by the Bucks. Sliced bread by Matt Jackson. Knee strike there by Nick Jackson. Double knees by Buddy Matthews. Over the top rope goes Nick Jackson. Omega comes over, grabs the head of Matthews. Snapdragon. Whew. Kenny is targeting Matthews. Kenny goes against the ropes. Gets caught by Jericho into the walls. Into the walls. Double kick, though, by the Bucks. Double kick by the Bucks. Kick by the Bucks. Double kick by the Bucks. Double kick by the Bucks. Down goes Sammy Guevara. Brody King comes in. Clothesline. Everyone's down. Take a breath. We're going to picture-in-picture. You don't want to miss it. Bodies are everywhere. Listen to the fans. Sometimes words just can't describe what we're seeing or feeling, says Tony. I just never believe him. I never believe him. When you see action like that, and then Tony comes in and goes, wow, listen to the fans. Words just can't describe what we're seeing and feeling. I just don't believe he's seeing, I believe he's seeing stuff, but I don't believe he's feeling anything. What a night. This is, wow. He's so, Tony is really bad on commentary. I just do not for 1 second believe that he is impressed by what he's seeing. I really like Taz. I think Taz is a really good commentator. I must admit, I don't mind Excalibur at all. I understand the argument that he's too inside baseball. Like, he talks about the moves a bit too much. But I honestly, I don't mind that. I actually find it interesting to know what all these things are because, to be honest, like, you just don't get that information from a lot of the other commentators. So for him to be, like, going through what all these moves are, I find that interesting. I understand it might not be something that the masses really care about. But saying that, you see some incredible moves, and, you know, when you find out it's a reverse Uranagi crossfade expander, you go, wow, don't know if I've ever seen one of them before. I don't think I've ever seen one of them. How the hell does Excalibur even know what it's called? I can only imagine he goes into, like, 2K, because you can go in when you're, like, designing the moves or, like, putting a move set together, and you can actually see all the different moves and what they're called. I can only imagine every night he goes in and just tests himself. Puts a move on screen and goes, right, that's the R3 reverse netbreaker. That is the air bomb, air siren, air destroyer. That is the air freshener. That is and I can only imagine he just does that each night. Just like, that's the only thing I could imagine you could do. That's the only place I could think to go if you wanted to, like, learn that as a skill. Unless they do it a lot on the indie scene, I have no idea. Maybe they do it a lot in indie wrestling where they're just constantly calling out these moves. But where would you learn these moves? A lot of the stuff I see in AEW I've never seen before. Certainly in these kinds of matches as well. So yeah, I've got a respect for Excalibur's knowledge. Excalibur every 10 minutes. 1, 2, no. Over the top goes Kenny. Can we do a poll for how many commercial breaks there's going to be, says Corvid? Well, I think we've only got 7 minutes left to go. A D air freshener. Oh, that's a big move, Tim. That's a big move, mate. A D air freshener. I like that. That sounds like a move that Bastion Booger would have had. The D air freshener. Tony Schiavone is irrelevant. Right, the Bucks are climbing up. Shot coming in there by Jericho Appreciation Society. We are entering our final stage of this week's Dynamite. Sammy in one corner. Oh, that's a nice suplex. Spanish Fly by Sammy. Okay, everyone's down. In comes Brody. Brody King going up top. Kenny jumps up and hits Brody King. A couple of back elbows coming in. Kenny getting into the ring. Kenny going up top. Shots coming into the midsection. Kenny goes down. Jericho coming over. Jericho on the middle rope and a few clubbing blows. So we got Jericho. No, I thought we were going to get something there. Knee strike by Kenny. Come on, get the House of Black in this thing, said Heather. There's no way that Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, and Brody King are going to win. Really? You think the House of Black aren't going to win? Suplex there. I tell you what, we've actually seen, I think the crowd have wanted to see Kenny and Jericho go at it. We've actually seen them working together a lot. I think we're going to be getting them going up against each other. Right. Code breaker by Jericho. 1, 2. And kick out by Kenny. So just Jericho and Kenny in the ring right now. Oh, what's going on backstage? We've got a brawl between Dark Order and Blackpool Combat Club. We're just seeing a brawl backstage. Shot coming in there by Jericho and Kenny. Evil Uno was taken to the hospital earlier, apparently. Looking for a Lion Salt. Knees up there by Kenny. And Julia is still standing. Watching the action unfolds. She doesn't even, like, strategize or go over and, like, share some thoughts or bang on the apron to, like, G them up. She doesn't do anything. She's sorted life, man. She has absolutely cracked it. I sort of feel like Tony Khan has got really low expectations of the women in AEW. He doesn't believe that Reba is capable of turning face. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way she's a heel. There's no way that she'd be able to be a face. So we can't do that. And Julia, well, I mean, we can't. This is a bit too much to ask her to do anything other than stand there. I mean, let's not let's not ask too much of the girl. It's fine. Just put a hat on her. It's fine. Brody King in the ring. And gets jumped from behind. I'm not impressed with this, said Tommy. Daves, don't you mean no expectations? In all fairness, though, I mean, what I will say is if he has any expectations, if he did have any expectations, I can't imagine that many in the women's division have met those expectations before. So perhaps he's just lost hope. Perhaps that's what it's come down to. I mean, outside of the likes of Britt and Jamie, you know, I think there's been quite a few that have under-delivered. And maybe you're right. Maybe now there is just no expectation. Just do something. Just do something. Just go out there and do something. And in Reba's case, don't even go out there. In Reba's case, I just don't even think you can be a face. How's the Blade looking for a pin? Where are we? 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Which way is this gonna go? Who is gonna leave as the AEW Trios champions? Floyd. Jericho has got Floyd. Jabs it in the face of Brody King. Sammy loses his footing. Shooting Star. He took out all 3 members of the Elite. Shoulder up by Brody King. Who's Reba? Reba? Rebel? I mean, Britt used to call her Reba. I don't know if she still does, to be honest. But she used to call her that, and the joke was she'd be like, my name's Rebel. And she'd call her Reba. Knee strike there by Buddy Matthews. Kick coming in. Picking her up on the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. House of Black win. House of Black retain. Here's Hager. Jake Hager coming down. Not the popular victors in Winnipeg. Hager gets in. Now they're beating up on Jake Hager, the House of Black. Jericho Appreciation Society are in there. I don't know where the Elite have gone. What's happening here? Now we've got Blackpool Combat Club and Dark Order. They've actually come out into the arena. Oh, it's all happening. It's all happening. Hangman's in the ring. Here's Moxley. Blackpool Combat Club are getting in. Death. Elite on the other sides. Hangman's in the middle. We've got the Elite behind him. We've got Blackpool Combat Club on the other side. Blackpool Combat Club jump out the ring. Hangman Page confused. Turn around. And we've gone off the air. But there we go. Get in your scores. Get in your scores. Out of... we made it through, you know. We over 3 hours of streaming and we didn't get any technical difficulties. Didn't even drop any frames. I'm so impressed with that. I'm so pleased as well because if I don't get a Dell engineer on Friday, then at least we should be able to get through SmackDown. There we go. Get in your scores. Get in your scores. 8.5 said LT. Alfie said 8. Not bad. Nate the Great said 8.6. Virus says 8.5. Chris Rogers says 20 out of 20. Joe says 8. Jeremy said 7.5. Zach said, did you know that Reba is 44? She looks incredible for her age. Very good. I didn't. But very good. Not a good ending, said Shakeem. Heather said 7.75. That was way better than last week. Baseball King says 9.5. Mitchell said 7.5. Tahil says 8. Erasure Mind said 8. I think a solid 7.45. Best show performance in a long time. Tyler said 9. Meave said 7. Let Him In said 7. 6, 8, 6, 7, 5. Freebird said, what a masterpiece of a show. 10. Fire, fire, fire. Is Julia Hart just a professional mourner? Seems like she just goes to funerals and puts her name in the book. Blood and Guts takes place between March and the end of June. Elite against Blackpool Combat Club would make for a great Blood and Guts match, says Corvids. WWE marks are angry today, said Freebirds. Lone Star Friend said, take care, everyone. AB Jobson said 10. What happened to Big Cass, said Miguel. He is Big Bill. We saw him a couple of weeks ago against Orange Cassidy. TJB said 10 out of 10 for the main event. Legend Killer said 7. Rain Club VIP said 10. 1 Minute Wrestler said 10. Joey said 7.5. Big Time said it's a shame. Oh, I didn't see. Big Time. What did it say? It's a shame. I just got the Sheamus thing in my head. It's a shame people in large numbers have missed the show. Legal Man wasn't pinned at the end, said Jojo. Can you check my DM after the stream? I think you forgot last time. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. I checked my messages the other day, so I didn't forget. and I looked at all the ones that had come in. I'm just wondering if maybe I will look. I will look. Soraya stated on her Twitter that she got fined for saying twat on TV. Oh, well, I just said it. I might get fined as well now. Julia is upset about Roxanne Perez. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you. How many matches are left? Oh, the show's done. The show ended. Tony said 8. It was pretty good tonight. Mitchell said, what's your score? I was around what was I? About 6.5, 6.75 a halftime score. I'd probably settle on a 7. I said the main event was not going to be for me, and I didn't. It didn't do it for me. It didn't change my mind. The women's segment I thought was awful. I thought it was rubbish. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I'm trying to think as to there was something that definitely caught my attention. There was something in that second. I can't remember what it is now, but I was around a 6.5, 6.75 at the start, and I can't remember what it was. But there was something that I enjoyed, like in that second part, that has pushed my score up, and I can't remember what it was. What matches did we get? What matches did we get? Because wasn't it the women before the main event? What was before the women? There was Summer. Summer happened that I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And I was into it. Was it Orange Cassidy against Jeff Jarrett? That had a bit of silliness in it. Which I don't mind from time to time. It was okay. It didn't really affect my score. What was in between that and the women? Let me have a look. AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite review. I'm just wondering if someone's put up a review yet. So I can have a look and see what happened tonight. Which is not good considering I've just watched the show. Oh, hang on. Let me go to the AE. Oh, I can't. I'll go here. I'm not being funny. I genuinely can't remember what happened. I remember Orange Cassidy opened the second hour because I remember saying he's good for ratings. I remember the women's segment and thinking, oh my God, this is pretty... I'm not feeling this. Main event, as I said, wasn't going to be for me, but I feel like there was something in the middle. The TMZ segment. Was that in the second hour? Big Time said, I thought the first hour was great, but the second was flats. TMZ segment was hilarious. Was that the QTV segment? QTV. Outcasts, MJF, Orange Cassidy. Jade Cargill, was she the first or the second hour? Because Taya Valkyrie coming out's pretty cool. If that was the second hour, maybe that's what I was thinking of, but that might have been the first hour. Oh. Well, listen, I was 6.5, 6.75. There wasn't anything that massively moved my score. My gut feeling right now is that it's a 7. I would be at about a 7. But I can't pinpoint exactly why my score went up in that second hour right now, to be honest, just to be truthful. The first hour was the Jade stuff. Okay. Well, look, I was at 6.5, 6.75 at halfway point. I thought the Orange Cassidy match was all right. I mean, I like Orange Cassidy. I like seeing him have a competitive match. I don't mind Jeff Jarrett, but all this stuff about like them brawling on the outside and that 10 counts. And, that was a big talking point, was like, are they not going to count him out? And then they got back to the ring and they were fighting. And then we end up getting Aubrey coming down and he's going to use the guitar and Aubrey's, messing around. And, that just wasn't, that wasn't going to push my score up, right? The women's segment, I think you'd be hard pushed to find anyone that's going to tell you that was an amazing segment. I thought that it was... I actually like Ruby's promo last week, right? So anyone thinking that I'm just hating, I actually really enjoyed Ruby last week, but I don't like this group. I don't like the spray painting. I just don't like the I just don't think it's a good presentation. I don't think it's a good group. I think I like Tony individually. I like Ruby Soho. I can't say that I've actually seen really anything from Soraya since she came back. There was the match. Let's give her the match. I think the match she has with Britt was pretty good, actually. I'll give her that. But Dynamite segments, I don't think there's been much. And this group just ain't it. And having like Riho and Sky Blue and Willow come down. Pfft. So I actually thought that, if anything, would knock my score backwards. And then look, the main event, that's going to be something that's going to divide opinion. If you're really into that, and you're into that, now they're doing this, now they're doing that, now they're doing this, now they're doing that, kind of the Young Bucks style, you're going to have loved that main event. But I was very honest in saying, and I've always been honest in saying, it's just not the thing that I enjoy. But I understand why people do enjoy it. So again, that's not going to move my score. So I'll settle on the 7, whatever. I'll settle on the 7. But there's definitely things here that for me I would be like, that's needs changing, that needs changing, that's a bit of a problem, that's a bit of a problem. But I do agree. I think was it Heather that made the point that this was much better than it has been. This was much better than it has been. The best segment for me was the opening segment. I think that was the best segment. I love the fact we got something we can get our teeth into there. I think if you're an AEW fan, you're going to have really enjoyed it, and I think that shows in the scores that were coming in. I think if you're an AEW hater, I think there's stuff here that you can rip apart. I expect to see people making fun of that 10 count. I expect to see people making fun of the women's segment. I think that there's a few bits and bobs that you can rip into if that's what you so desire. And I think I'd probably fall, I wouldn't say in the middle, because I think 7's actually quite a good score. So I feel that that's a fair reflection. But let's end it on a much better offering than what they have given us recently. This was not a chore to watch. No problem watching this. Before flipping Revolution, I was pulling my hair out, right, with how bad the show had gotten. And we got to the point where I genuinely didn't know if we were going to just take a break from it. This was nowhere near that level. Nowhere near that level. So, good. Yeah, I'll take this. I'm quite happy. If they serve this up every week, I'm quite happy. So lovely. The first segment was Goods. Tire Day Butte. Oh, the Acclaimed. Maybe it was that. I like that. I like that Acclaimed music video. It wasn't very long, but I thought it was very good. I like the Acclaimed music video. I did like that. Yes. Good shout. Orange Cassidy was good in some points. Days has a triple threat tag match over with. It is over with yet. Finished about 10 minutes ago. Thomas said it was an incredible show. Trey, goodbye to you, my friends. Big Time said, Days, the show was solid, but it'll take time to rebuild the Laps fans. Consistency will be key. Yeah, you're right. Consistency will be key. I don't think what we got tonight should be hard to achieve on a regular basis. I don't think that we'd be aiming too high to have moments and Dynamites. I feel like Dynamite was easily as strong as it was tonight on a consistent basis in the past. So I hope that they can do this again next week and kind of get that momentum going. I liked some stories as well. You know, we definitely are telling some stories. You know, Hangman being in the middle with the Elite behind and Blackpool Combat Club in front kind of heavily teases them having a showdown and also teases Hangman having to, you know, like not make a decision, but I suppose will there come a point where he's got to join up with Elite again and do something there? It's just interesting that he was on his own in the ring. You got Blackpool Combat Club. You got the Elite. Kind of teases that he's involved in this. And obviously, we know he's involved with Moxley. So I don't know where it's going. So that's an interesting story. It's a nice way to end the show. That's an interesting story. The 4 pillars. And we didn't get confirmation as to where that's heading. So you've got that story. You do have the women's story as well, if you care about it. They are trying to tell a story with that Outcasts group as well. So you've got that story. Obviously, we're continuing having Hobbs and Wardlow seemingly in this feud with that QTV. We've got the tag situation, FTR. We didn't see FTR this week. We got them back. They want the guns. So you got a situation there. So, look, we got a few things that are bubbling at the moment. Things that we can tune in for next week and see how they develop. So, yeah. Jojo, shout out to you. Travis said it was the same old mud show. Soraya tweeted, she's been fined. Lol. How much, what has she said? Just that she got fined for saying that words? Is she, fuming about it or something? She probably is, actually. Soraya. Soraya lives rent-free in Neckbeard's Heads. That's where she's from, according to Twitter. I indeed got fined for saying twat on live TV at AEW #Outcasts. Boom. I know we're quite far away, said CWE, but House of Black versus Elite and Hangman at Blood and Guts would work very well. Might be a really good opportunity to finally introduce Miro back as a House of Black member. That'd be really interesting. Blood and Guts. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, do you put Danielson back with Blackpool Combat Club if he comes back? Yeah, I feel like that's going to need a bit of work, but I agree. That's definitely a direction that we could be heading in. Right, I'm going to run away. I'm astounded. I'm amazed that we managed to get through nearly 3 hours, 20 minutes without any crashes or anything going down. Awesome. So, yeah, massively appreciate the support, of course, as always. We will be back on Friday. Even if my PC's not fixed, we'll use this. It's shown that it'll do it. So we will definitely, whatever happens, be back on Friday. And I think that's everything. Awesome. Appreciate the support. Have a great evening. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.